That's the song? Oh yeah.
I'm a PlayStation fan too. I'm a PlayStation fan too. I'm a PlayStation fan too. I'm a PlayStation fan. I'm a PlayStation. I'm a PlayStation. I'm a PlayStation fan too. I'm a PlayStation fan too.
Hey yo, what is good, people, man? It's your boy Persona, Game with Persona. Man, I haven't done one of these in a really long time. So it feels good to, chop it up, man. Happy Sunday. I hope everybody's enjoying their holiday weekend, Memorial Day weekend, whatever it is that you guys are doing. Hopefully you guys are having fun, enjoying yourselves. It's raining like crazy. It's been raining for 2 weeks. Not 2 weeks. It's been raining for 2 days now out here in New York. So it's kind of crazy, it's kind of crazy. But rainy time, especially for us gamers, is the prime time to get some gaming done. You feel me? But shout out to everybody here, man. Appreciate y'all. Hope you guys are doing good, man. Hope you guys are great out here. Honestly, I hope everybody is good. Yeah, it's been a while. It's been a while, man. It's been a while. So I said, let me do a catch-up stream. You feel me? It's a lot of things. I've been away for a long time, honestly. Not on social media, not on YouTube or anything like that. I kind of just been in IRL or in real life, and just a lot of great things have been happening in life, and it's a lot's going on. A lot. So definitely been away, but I'm glad to be back. I'm glad to be back on YouTube. Back on Twitter and whatnot. You feel me? Back on YouTube, somewhat. We'll talk about that for sure. But I definitely want to catch up with the community, catch up with everybody, and see how everybody is doing. Talk about some gaming stuff because I got back on Twitter. What was it? A week ago? Yeah, about a week and a half ago. I think I got back on Twitter, and definitely was seeing a lot because I've been out the loop when it comes to news. I've been seeing a lot what's been going on, and I'm like, oh yeah, I definitely want to catch up and talk to y'all and whatnot. But yo, listen, where are my manners? I have got to shout out this chat. Listen, guys, I'm rusty. I haven't done this in a long time. You feel me? I just got my gaming setup all set back up with like my lights and the cameras and the monitors and the sound system and the mic, and I just got everything set up the other day. So, I'm definitely, trying to reacclimate myself, as one would say. You feel me? But I got to shout out the chat, man, because, I appreciate everybody that's here. Yo, listen, Lady Games 1980. I'm assuming that's Ice Queen. What's good, Ice Queen? I appreciate you coming through. Foxing around Austin. Shout out to my boy, Austin. Austin, I appreciate you. G Jr. in the building. G Jr., what's going on with you? Cloud Strife in the building. Shout out to my boy Cloud Strife. He said, Persona, what's good, brother? We miss you on these YouTube streets. I want to let you know, last time we talked, I was saying you motivate me to lose weight. I've done it. Went from 235 to 170. Hey, that's a blessing. Your round of applause. Where's my round of applause? There we go. Big round of applause. Yo, that's a good feeling, man. That's a good vibe. Big shout out to you, Cloud, man. That's a blessing, honestly, to be able to achieve that is truly a great thing. So, congrats to you. Health is wealth, chat. Like I always say, health is wealth, man. You want to live a long time, so that you can be there for your family, be there for these video games. You understand? Be there for whatever it is that you want to do in life. You want to live a long time. So health is very important, man. So big congrats to you, Cloud Strife, man, and keep it up, man. Keep doing your thing. It's a blessing to see, and I'm happy that I can contribute a small part of that, with motivating you with my own weight loss. My own weight loss journey and what I did in my own personal life to kind of, live that healthier life and live a healthier lifestyle. It's very important, man. And listen, I say this a lot, and I'm gonna finish the shout outs, but and this goes for anybody that might be on their weight loss journey or trying to lose weight or whatever. It's not important to be perfect, because I know every time people want to be perfect and they don't want to do this and do that. Most important is starting and being consistent. And weight loss doesn't start at the gym, it starts in the kitchen. That's one important thing I think everybody has to understand is losing weight or weight loss or living a healthier lifestyle. It does not start in the gym at all. It starts in the kitchen, because you have to change the things that you are putting into your body so that you can then see the results that you want to see when you do incorporate exercise, cardio, and things like that. So regulate your eating, be consistent when it comes to your eating, and everything else will fall into place. Starts in the kitchen. Congrats to you, Cloud. Viper Reaps in the building. Shout out to my boy Viper Reaps. I appreciate you, man, coming through. Cloud said, I'm at my high school weight, eating right, doing the gym and jogging a lot. Wifey loving it too. Took my 6-year-old to Epic Universe Mario Land yesterday and was able to walk around easily. Yeah, that's a good thing. Yo, listen, especially for those with children, when you got kids and you lose all that weight and you know, wifey definitely gonna love it. You understand? Because, you know, especially for us men, when you lifting weights and you working out, that testosterone, you understand, be up, solid as a rock. You understand? Wifey definitely gonna, I understand, brother. I understand. When you eat healthy and you're getting the vitamins and the nutrients, oh yeah, wifey gonna benefit, Cloud. Let me go to the big camera so you can see what the hell. Cloud, you ain't got to tell me, brother. Wifey, I understand. I know wifey loving it. But yeah, man, that's dope, Cloud. I appreciate you, man. Yo, Kelvin Smith in the building, man. Shout out to my boy Kelvin, man. I appreciate you, brother. Coming through, man, rocking out. Yo, Jay Barry, shout out to my brother Jay Barry in the building, rocking out. I appreciate you, man, coming through. Yo, make sure you guys, you know, bless up my boy Barry, man. I know he's going through a tough time right now, so you know, please, you know, give all your love and energy, positive energy to my boy Barry in the chat, man. Please, you know, nothing but love and blessings to my bro Barry, man. But nothing but love and blessings. Yo, Stardust in the building. Shout out to my bro Stardust, Zero. Appreciate you. Chaos Legion Spawn 1. Yo, sup, Persona? It's been a minute since I could catch a live from you. I'm about to catch a flight, but I hope all is well. Yo, Chaos, appreciate you coming through right before you catch your flight. I hope it's a safe flight. You understand? Be safe out here and whatnot, and wherever you're going, I hope you have a lot of fun and you are safe. Lady, can I have my mod? Yeah, I'll give you a mod back, lady. I got you. Yo, Plus Ultra in the building. Shout out to my boy Plus Ultra. E Rice in the building. Huh? Are my eyes deceiving me? The Game Politician is live right now. Lot of mercy. Yes, your eyes do not deceive you, E Rice. Your boy is live right now. Yes, we are live. Yo, Stone in the building. Shout out to my homegirl Stone. Stone, I appreciate you always coming through. Make sure you guys check out Stone, support Stone and what she doing out here. Mr. Fox on around. Yo, Austin said, we inside. Yes, sir. Nixon 4? Nixon 4? Them Knicks looking kind of strong. Oh, man. Yo, Nixon 4? Where my Knicks fans at? Where are my Knicks fans at? Nixon 4? We'll see. Or was it 5? They won last night, right? Yeah, they did win last night. Yes, they up by 3. I didn't catch the game. I caught the highlights. If I'm not mistaken, I think they're up by, I think they won last night. Yeah. Yo, Muhammad Rayad, what's good? Appreciate you. He said, happy to see you back, man. Yeah, man. You know, happy to be back, man. Happy to be here rocking out, man. Baltimore MVP in the building. Baltimore, what's going on with you, man? I appreciate you, Baltimore. Black Rob in the building. Yes, yes, sir. Bronco Blurred, what's going on with you, Bronco? I appreciate you, man. Muhammad said, big PlayStation show is back. Exclusivity is back, and even the orgs are back. Feels good. Feels like the good old times. Yeah, listen, we're gonna talk. We're gonna definitely talk, man. It's a couple of things that I want to talk about right now on this show today. So definitely, you know, get your snacks, get your lunch and whatnot. We're gonna rock out for a little bit, chat. Trust me. It's a couple things I want to talk about. Some stuff has already probably been talked about from like weeks ago. I just want to talk about it all. Like we're gonna talk about it for sure, man, because it's a lot that I want to say. So we're gonna talk for sure. Yo, Big Hardcore Gamer in the building. What's going on with you, Big Hardcore? Appreciate you, man. Nels, what's going on with you, Nels? I appreciate you. He says, hey, surprise stream. Salute to Persona in the chat. Let's have a good time. Nels, you already know. Valhalla Outcast in the building. Valhalla, what's going on with you, man? I appreciate you. Viper Reaps said, eating healthy give you the motivation to exercise. Whenever I eat shit, that's not good. That's no good. Motivation to exercise goes out the window. Absolutely. You definitely got to eat healthy. And listen, I'm not saying you got to eat healthy 100% of the time. If you ate healthy 75% of the time, that's good, because no one's perfect and no one's trying to be eating salads and shit every single time. I don't do it. You feel me? I have a burger, some pizza, or some hot dogs, or you know, some Chinese food. Like I indulge as well, but within reason. That's the important thing, is you can still eat the foods that you love, man. Absolutely. But if you eat right 75% of the time, you're good. Really. It doesn't have to be 100% of the time, because I'm not doing it 100%. I know no one's doing it 100% of the time. 75% of the time at least, I promise you'll be good. 75 to 80% of the time, you're good. Who else? Love you, Barty. Gonna put y'all in my thoughts. Yeah, definitely give Barty y'all love, man. Yo, Muck, what's good? Muck 45 in the building. Wagwan brethren. Love you too, and keep doing your thing. That personality is shining. Yeah, Stone definitely doing her thing. Who else? Who else is here? I just want to make sure I shout everybody out. Yo, Alexi, what's going on with you, Alexi? I appreciate you. Appreciate you coming through. Teasy the GOAT in the building. Shout out to my boy Teasy. You know, Teasy had a good space last night. You know, I jumped in there real quick and was chopping it up with Teasy and Mama Kendra and Sumo and you know, some good conversations, man. It was good to jump in the space yesterday. So shout out to Teasy as well, man. Yo, DC Gaming in the building. He a fraud with his diet like he is with gaming. Hey, yo, shout out to DC. DC, I appreciate you coming through, bro. I hope everything is good with you and the family, man. Blessings to you, man. Keep it up, doing your thing, man. I hope you happy, healthy, and safe out here, DC. Shout out to DC, man. Appreciate you, bro. All right, yo, listen. I think I shouted everybody else. Listen, round of applause for the folks in the chat, man. Hold on. Y'all could be anywhere in the world and you right here with your boy, and I appreciate you. You know, on the help tip real quick, listen, for my fellas, man, it's all about the lifting the weights, man. You got to lift the weights, man. Weightlifting with some cardio, weightlifting is very important. Trust me. That's where you're going to see the maximum when it comes to testosterone. Obviously, eating healthy, that's always, but you want to lift the weights, man. Lift the weights. You want to lift the weights, lift the weights, lift the weights, lift heavy, lift consistently. And I promise you, you're going to be good out here, swole. And your lady going to love you. Trust me. She going to love it. She going to love it. And she going to benefit too. She going to benefit. Oh, your lady going to benefit. Trust. All right. Let's talk, man. Let's talk. Yo, Hameda, what's good? Sup, it's on a long time. Yeah, it's been a long time, man. Definitely going to be trying to do some more streams a little bit more consistently. Again, cause I was talking to Barry about this a couple days ago, but like I got that itch, you know, and it's funny because when I left, like when Whoops ended and you know, Barry's doing his thing, I'm doing my thing, and then like, you know, real life was happening at the same time, and I had a lot of things, you know, I was doing in real life and things I wanted to accomplish and whatnot. Especially, you know, being much more healthy. And then in the state of the gaming community and gaming content creation, like there was a number of things that just had me like, I'm good, man. Like I'm done, right? And at that time, I definitely was done. Like 100% I was done. Then like I don't know, like, you know, because I was still gaming. It's not like I wasn't still gaming. I was still gaming heavy. Or gaming as much as I could, you know, again, with other responsibilities and life happening, but, you know, still getting my games in, trying to platinum as much as I could, you know, get the platinums that for the games that I enjoy and love. So I was still trying to be, you know, consistent in that area. I wasn't on social media as much, you know, I really wasn't on social media. I really didn't start coming back or getting on social media consistently again until like I said, like two weeks ago or so. You know, I wasn't on social media as much. Really just was focused on, you know, my fiance, you know, are you know, building our life together, you know, working on being a father, becoming a, you know, being a dad and whatnot, and my career, and, you know, a lot of real life stuff really took, is at the forefront, right? So, you know, with that, and again, my health, working out, all these other different things, like there was a lot of other different things that really, what was that? Oh, that's this. Oops. Oh, Cobb Sanity, I appreciate you for the super chat. Why am I hearing that through here? Sorry about that, chat. Hold on. What was I about to say? Yeah, you know, so with real life and things happening and whatnot, it kind of just had me like, all right, I'm good. I'm kind of fine where I'm at. But you know, I got that itch. I got back on social media. I was seeing some of the gaming news. You know, shout out to my bro Bari. Like any big news, he would like, you know, he would text me or hit me like, yo, this just happened or whatever, like something with PlayStation or something like that. But like, oh shit, you know, that's crazy. And so like, you know, I kind of was just like, all right, you know what? Let me kind of get back on social media and kind of, you know, see what's going on when it comes to gaming news and whatnot and what's going on in the gaming space and whatnot. And, you know, when I came back, because I wasn't watching no gaming content either. Like I was like the only gaming content I was watching, and I would really like lurk. Like I would hit the like button and whatnot, but I would mostly lurk or whatever was really just was Bari. You know, when Bari was doing, you know, the J Bari show, and you know, when he puts out his game videos or whatever the case may be, you know, I would watch Bari's content and then I would watch Plus on Block. And I would always make sure I check in on Plus on Block and, you know, see what's up with that. But outside of that, I'm not watching no gaming content. I wasn't watching nothing. You know, I was kind of just like in my bubble and, you know, kind of just focused on, you know, what I was focused on. So I come back to social media, I see, like when I signed in and like, I seen just the slew of information, like, cause you know, when you don't sign in for a while or when you're not active for a while and then you come back, you just like, I'm seeing stuff from like a month ago, stuff from like 3 weeks ago, stuff from like, of like Asha taking over for Phil. Like when the Phil Spencer stuff happened, Bari, like I was like, I was just like, yo, what? And like, you know, that was something that me and Bari definitely was talking about like on the side. And I was just like, yo, like that's kind of also something that had me like, yo, what? Like I definitely gotta kind of see what's up. Yo, KI Gaming, what's good, yo? White, what's that? White Nubian King. White Nubian King. Yo, that's crazy. Make gamers fat again? Nah, man, you gotta get rid of it. We gotta come up off that stigma. You know, we definitely got to come up off that stigma, man, when it comes to, you know, gamers. You know, there's always that stigma of gamers being unhealthy, you know, living in their mom's basement and all that weird stuff, man. We got to kill that stigma, man. Kill that stigma for sure. Nah, don't make gamers fat again. Make gamers healthy. You know, make gamers healthy for sure. Yo, K-Mac, what's going on, Mama K in the building? Appreciate you, Mama K. When gamers start losing weight, it's a signal that games are trash. Yo, this dude, White Nubian King, is funny. What? Not at all, bro. Games have not been trash. It's just your priorities shift. You feel me? I think that's what it is. I just think, you know, for a gamer, you know, listen, it's easy to fall into that trap of, you know, whatever. But it's the fact that one day you wake up, you look in the mirror, and you say, you're not happy with the body that you have at that moment, and you want to make a change. Like you have to be tired of whatever it is that you're tired of in order to really want to make that change. You feel me? That's really what it is. Regardless if you're a gamer or not, there's people who don't play video games at all that are also overweight. What's that a sign of? You feel me? It's just a matter of, you know, being healthy and taking care of yourself. That's really what's important. Yo, Corey Macy in the building. Shout out to my boy Corey Macy. Appreciate you coming through. Beyonce being a dad. Boy, things have changed. My guy really out here like, I got a wife and kids. Yeah, we we almost I'm almost that. You know, I guess now whenever I play the sound, where is it?
Respect my time. I got a wife and kids.
I guess now I can somewhat say that it applies to me. You know, soon come everything will. But yo, Corey, appreciate you. Link in the building. Link, what's going on? El Persona is back. Hello, my boy Link. Shout out to my boy Link, man. Many blessings to you. Eversley King in the building. Eversley, what's good? What's good, Persona? Good to see you back, my guy. Of course, man. Happy to be back, and happy to be rocking out with y'all boys and girls out here in these gaming streets. Yo, Cobb, I appreciate you for the super chat. Said, what's good, Persona? Stopping by to say hi. Yeah, appreciate you, Cobb, for real. Shout out to my bro Bari with the $10 super chat. Says, blessings upon blessings, Persona. Happy for you, bro. Appreciate you, Bari, always, brother. And then KI Gaming in the building. KI says, yeah, what's good, Persona? Yo, KI, what's good with you, man? What's good? E-Dog, what's good, man? Appreciate you. Appreciate you coming through. So yeah, like, you know, like I was saying, like, you know, coming back to Twitter and, you know, seeing a lot of the gaming news and the gaming, you know, stuff that's going on, I was kind of like, you know, I started getting in that content creation itch where I was just, and I hit a bar. I was like, yo, man, I ain't gonna lie. I'm getting that content creation itch, especially now that, you know, what really did it for me was the GTA hype of like, oh, the pre-orders might happen and they won't. That's what really did it for me, because I really wanted to talk about that and talk about these wannabe insiders and shit like that. Like, I was itching to talk about that, but I you know, my schedule couldn't really permit me to really do a live stream at that time when I really wanted to talk about it. So I was like, you know, I'll try to talk about it, you know, at a later time. But I really, like, that was something that I was just like, yo, that's what really, I think, sent it over the edge. That and PlayStation with their State of Play and Summer Game Fest, and, you know, just the conversation around exclusivity, you know, with Asha and Xbox. And, you know, when I was seeing all that stuff kind of ramp up, and then the Destiny thing, which we're going to talk about with Destiny not doing Destiny 3 and D2 ending, I was like, yeah, I got to do a show. So here we are, you know, with a catch-up show where, you know, we could talk about, you know, a couple things. You know, definitely want to give my predictions for State of Play as well. Definitely going to have some fun with that towards the second half of the show. And, you know, it's a lot of things, you know, we want to talk about, man. But, you know, I hope everybody, like I said, I hope everybody is good that's coming through, that's coming in right now. I appreciate you guys coming through, rocking out with me, man, for real. All right, so where do we start? I want to start with GTA. Can I start with GTA? Can I start with GTA, chat? Is that okay? Is that okay with y'all if I start with GTA? You know, oh, before I begin, yo, put a 1 in the chat if you guys are feeling great. Put a 2 in the chat if you're just feeling okay. Or put a 3 in the chat if you're not feeling great at all. But if you're not feeling great, we're going to try to get you to at least a 2 by the end of the show. By the end of the show, I at least want to get you guys to a 2, at least. I forgot how to do my intro. I know my intro is kind of off, but I don't worry, guys. As I get back into the rigmarole of doing things, you know, I'll get back to my old school intro, how I used to do things when I you know, do these a little bit more consistency. But okay, I want to talk about GTA for a second, and more specifically, I want to talk about the insiders, man. Listen, yo, listen. Hey, yo, look, listen, chat. I put this out on Twitter. When was it? What was it, like Monday, Tuesday? I forgot what day I put this out on Twitter. Where is it at? I wanna find it real quick. I want to find this real quick. Oh yeah, here we go, right here. Here we go. I put this out on Twitter because I think it's important, you know. And listen, I've been saying this for years. This ain't nothing brand new, right? I've been saying this stuff for years. Like nothing that I say, but I said, you know, the GTA 6 trailer / pre-order debacle should help you identify who you should take serious going forward when it comes to gaming news, rumors, leaks, etc. Have a great afternoon. Right? Simple. And this is something that I've been saying for years, right? Go back to the WUPs. Go back to the days of WUPs. Go back to the days of the early days of, you know, content on my channel. I've been saying this for years, right? All leaks is not good leaks, right? Sometimes you do need a plumber to plug that leak, because that ain't a good leak that you want. It's the leak that's leaking from the roof into your bedroom, onto the bed and whatnot. You don't like that leak. You understand? Some leaks are worse than others. And when it comes to leaking, like game leaks and stuff like that, obviously that's a very slippery slope, right? Obviously, you know, sometimes you take the chance for the studio or whoever to want to announce something whenever they want to announce it or whatever. You know, leaks is a very slippery slope, right? Obviously, all information isn't going to be 100% correct, but you have to look at people's track record when it comes to leaks, so to speak, right? But here's the thing, right? Because leaks and rumors and stuff like that, that's been happening for years, for decades, right? That's not a new concept. I think what has expanded upon that is obviously the introduction of social media, right? Once social media came about and gaming became this mainstream global phenomenon of what it's been since, you know, expanding into the internet era, obviously you get to interact with more people than, you know, your classroom or your neighborhood or your state or whatever, or your local event or whatever the case may be. Obviously, because of the reach that the internet and more specifically social media has given us, right? Fine. But with that, you're going to get a lot of people who are posers, where, yo, Jemiah, what's good, man? Shout out to my boy Jemiah, man. Appreciate you coming through, man. Hope everything is good with you. Yo, Pep, what's good? What's good? Shout out to everybody here. You're going to get people who are trying to jump on the bandwagon and trying to capitalize on people's desire to want to know what's next. See, and this is the thing, because it's a double-edged sword. And this is why it's so easy for somebody to kind of come in, infiltrate, if you will, right? And try to pass themselves off or masquerade as something that they are not. Because what social media has done to the gaming community and the games industry is it has turned it into this situation where people are always wanting to know what's next, right? Even with this PlayStation State of Play, right, that we see next week or the week after, you're going to get, you know, there's going to be a lot of excitement, obviously, hopefully. You know, there's going to be a lot of great games, a lot of information, a lot of different things that, you know, we'll see and get informed on, and even know things that we didn't know, right, prior to this State of Play. But then there's always going to be that situation where people are also going to always want to know what's next, right? Even if they see a ton of great games at the State of Play, they're going to want to know, well, what's going on with this studio? What's going on with this thing? What's going on with that game? What's going on with this and that? We're in this cycle of information, or this cycle of gaming and social media, to where people want to know what's next. They want to know what's happening here, what's happening behind the scenes. What about this? What about that? So when you get a community of people who are constantly yearning for that information, or constantly yearning or hoping to know or see what's next, it's very easy for somebody to come in and masquerade as knowing what's next, right? As being some type of prophet, if you will, right? Passing themselves off as a gaming prophet of, oh yeah, I've got the scoop. I've got the ear to the industry that nobody else has, and I'm able to get you that information that you want. So I'm going to trickle it out, but you got to follow and do this and do that, and, you know, trying to gain that notoriety. It's very easy for somebody to come in and do that because of the community, or excuse me, because of how the community and the gaming community more specifically, because of how specific the gaming community is when it comes to the desire to want to know what's next, the desire to know what's happening. And listen, the reason why I say it's a double-edged sword is because back in the day, you know, and I'll use PlayStation for example, back during the PlayStation 4 generation, PlayStation was very forthcoming early about games that were 2, 3, 4, 5 years out, right? Like, you knew what PlayStation was doing well before those games were releasing, and a lot of studios and a lot of companies were moving like that for a long time, right? What has happened since then is that, and again, I'll use PlayStation, but this really is something that's across the board. You have a lot of companies who have now become much more strict, and their marketing cycles, or the way they market their games or talk about their games or whatever, that has now become extremely tight-lipped. That has now become extremely strict, and the runway is often shorter than what it used to be, and for a number of reasons, right? You know, I've talked to developers about this in the past. Shout out to Rob from Ben Studio. He's no longer there now. I forget what studio he's with now. I think it's Void Interactive, if I'm not mistaken. But shout out to Rob. But him and a number of other developers, and even, you know, shout out to Sean Layden, and, you know, just people within the industry that we've talked about. It's easier to, because the game is going to come when it comes. Pause. But it's because of the scrutiny, that comes with games now when it comes to showing something too early, if there's a hair out of place, if there's a bug here, a bug there, that can be detrimental to the success of the game. We've seen it. We've seen it to where it can hurt the game. It can hurt the success. So I think because of that, and again, because of the power of social media, the power that a lot of media companies and things like that have now, when it comes to games media and influencers and things like that, the marketing cycle, and I would even argue that influencers and games media also play into that marketing cycle, because now those avenues are being used extensively to build hype, to bring awareness and things like that to games as well. Like the marketing cycle is very, very different now when it comes to gaming. So because of that, you're not getting as much information or getting information as early or as quickly as you would in the past. So because of that, it's easy for somebody to masquerade as an an insider, or somebody that knows more than what they let on, because of the desire that a lot of the gaming community have to want to know what's next. So when you factor that in, it's easy for somebody to come in, act like they know what's going on when it comes to this GTA stuff. Because GTA, like, let's be real, GTA is a game that is absolutely going to, it's going to smash records. Like this is a game that really, I believe, will change the landscape of gaming for like the next 20 years, right? This game is absolutely going to it's going to destroy anything in its path. Like 100%. This game is going to do 30 million, 40 million plus the first year, 2 years. Like this game is that powerful. Like it's an outlier. It's its own thing. It's pop culture. Like it's its own thing, GTA. So because of the desire and the amount of eyes that's on GTA 6, the amount of people who want this game, the success that we know this game is going to have, it's that much easier for somebody to come in and masquerade like they know what they think, that they know more than what the general community or the general population may know when it comes to the game, especially with these pre-orders, right? Now, obviously the whole Best Buy thing where, you know, influencers or whoever were getting Best Buy pre-order emails early, that was a mistake or whatever. That was the igniter, or excuse me, not the igniter. That was the accelerant for people masquerading as insiders to then get a piece of the pie. Does that make sense? Put a 1 in the chat if you follow me so far. That email and that being confirmed as legitimate was enough of an accelerant for people masquerading as insiders to then be able to say, oh, okay, let me jump on a bandwagon and add to that. Oh yeah, I just confirmed with my own sources that, yeah, this email is legit, even though that was already confirmed. And oh yeah, it's much more to it. I don't want to say too much, but just know the 18th, you know, like that's what we were seeing all through Twitter. I was seeing people say, confirm. Yeah, I confirmed this with my sources. I confirmed that it was the 18th. And I'm just sitting there like, why didn't, if you knew this already? See, here's my thing about insiders and why, like, I only trust and rock with a very few insiders, very few. Like, I can count on one hand the number of insiders or leakers or rumor people or whatever that I follow. Two, I respect. And even if they were to get something wrong, I know that even if they did get something wrong, their track record is so strong that it's like, oh, okay. And they're willing to admit, oh, okay, I got it wrong, or my information wasn't right or whatever. That's the other thing. Accountability. That's the other side of this that we'll get to in a second. But you had a lot of people doing it, and I just seen it, like just random accounts or just people that have known to kind of jump on the bandwagon after information is out. Oh yeah, I heard that too from my source. It's a little bit deeper than that, but I'll just save it for, you know, you guys are gonna be, this is the other thing, right? The older I get, one thing I've learned about me, and listen, I'm flawed, right? I know I'm not perfect. I'm not perfect. I understand that. One thing about me, the older I get, the shorter patience I have. I don't know if you guys can if that resonates with you guys as well. The older I get, my patience it keeps dwindling more and more and more. I don't have patience for stupid people. I don't have patience for people who don't want to understand something. Like I like there's a lot of things I just don't have patience for anymore, or my patience for it continues to dwindle. Yo, Damien, what's good, bro? And so like when I see when I see like these tweets or see like certain things, I don't engage in it, obviously, because it's like, look, I know if I engage, it's going to be, it's just not, it's not going to be a good back and forth, right? Because like, you're going to say something that's going to be stupid, or it's going to piss me off, and I'm just like, all right, I'm done, right? So I just choose not to engage, but I see it. And so when I see it, I just shake my head. I'm just like, yo, like, come on, right? But my whole thing is this: accountability. Accountability is very important. And not just in the aspect of gaming, not in the aspect of leaking or things, just accountability in general throughout your life. Like, accountability is important, because not being able to stand up and be like, yeah, I was wrong. Oh yeah, I had this information wrong. Yeah, I'll take the L here, whatever. You would get more respect from people, because they can say, okay, he was wrong here, but at least he's holding himself accountable. You get what I'm saying? That's very important. Accountability is extremely important to me, right? Because I can overlook somebody's mistake if they're holding themselves accountable and looking to be better in this. Because it's one thing to hold yourself accountable, but it's another thing to hold yourself accountable and make the effort to be better in the process. You understand? Don't just say, oh yeah, I'll hold myself accountable, but then 2 weeks later you're making the same mistake again, because yeah, you held yourself accountable in that last mistake or the last situation, but you didn't learn from that and try to improve yourself as a person going forward. I don't know. There has to be accountability, but also an improvement around that as well. You can't be making the same thing consistently, making the same mistake or doing the same thing after the fact, after holding yourself accountable, because you're not trying to improve or be better as a person. I don't rock like that. And I don't rock with people who move like that, right? So there's that. And so when you look at it from that perspective, it's like, okay, you got the information wrong, but you're not holding yourself accountable, and you run. How can anybody take you serious going forward? And this is why I say, like, leakers and things like that, you got to pick and choose, man. Yo, Barry, yo, Guac, what's good? Barry said, Persona, did you get your pre-order in on the 18th? Nope, because there was no pre-orders. Like, listen, that's the other thing. That's the other funny thing with this. I already knew. Like, yo, listen, pre-orders with no trailer, that, first of all, GTA's not doing that. They definitely doing a third trailer, like, for sure. But then pre-orders, why would they send something like that only to influencers and not to the general public? Like, a lot of that just didn't make sense to me. And again, maybe part of it doesn't make sense to me. And again, we know that that was legitimate and it was a mistake. So there's that. I'm not saying that that's fake or wrong, but, and maybe this is because I'm not on that influencer side of things when it comes to working with certain companies and things like that. So part of this might just be my ignorance, but I don't understand why you would send a pre-order date to an influencer and not to general population when you know the sales and what matters most is the gamer, the regular everyday average Joe Schmo. I don't know, like, some of that just didn't, I didn't understand the logic behind that, right? But again, we know that that was legit, but it was a mistake. They don't know where that came from or whatever. Fine. But yo, Soldier, what's good, man? Appreciate you. Yo, Quit, what's up? But we still don't know what's going on. And see, the leakers, I'm looking at you like, what sources you got? Because they might not be the best sources. Or is it bullshit? That's the other side of it. Are you a bullshitter? 9 times out of 10, you're a bullshitter. Most of them are bullshitters, right? There's very few leakers or people that's given insider industry information that you can trust. For me personally, Jason Schreier, you know, his track record is strong enough to where you can look at what he's saying and saying, okay, yeah, I'll take that. Like, he's more than likely right about that. Jeff Grubb, shout out to my boy Grubb. Jeff Grubb was highly respected. You know, we met Grubb quite a few times. Does he get everything right all the time? No, but his track record is strong enough to where, yeah, if he says something, more than likely it's true. And if he does have some wrong information, or if something doesn't happen, it either gets pushed back, or he'll say, okay, you know, I got some, you know, it's scuttlebutt, or it's some, you know, it was wrong, right? He's accountable, right? Very seldom has he had to have done that, but when he's had to, he's held himself accountable, which I can respect. Tom Henderson is another one. Millie A is another one that I look at. Nate the Hate is one. There's another one. Billy Coon. Him as well, like with information that he'll get a little bit early or whatever. Him as well. But there's very few. There's very few that I'll really say, yeah, you know, especially some. You listen. I don't want my first show back to be on this type of energy, but I gotta say it, man. Yo, Barry, why you being messy, bro? Listen, yo, I'm gonna be real, man. Yo, listen, I don't want my first show back to be messy, because that's not really what I'm trying to do, right? But I gotta call a spade a spade. Hey, yo, listen. Hey, yo, look, man. Anybody moving in this community, the community that we all congregate in, if somebody's saying they're an insider, I call bullshit. Like, I'm just gonna be honest, man. Like, I don't believe you. Like, I just don't believe you have the level of information that you think or say that you have. Like, respectfully. Take that as you will, and I'll leave it at that. Like, I just, no. These fly-by-night dudes that come out of the woodwork, yeah, you know, I've been knowing this for years. Okay. Whatever. Whatever. Respectfully. And I'm gonna leave it at that. I'm just gonna leave it at that, because I don't want to. I'm not here to, like, you know, I'm not trying to bash anybody or anything like that. Yo, Real Vid, what's good, man? Appreciate you. But just the track record of some of the ones that are closer to the community, it's just a little off to me, respectfully. It's a little off to me, respectfully. And I'm gonna leave it at that. I'm gonna leave it at that. But okay, yeah, that's that's yo, listen, that's either way, GTA, you know, whenever we do get GTA news, you know, maybe we'll get it at State of Play or not, a trailer or something, or, you know, I know Strauss Zelnick says summertime is when the marketing starts, but that's marketing. A new trailer doesn't necessarily have to mean that it, you know, it could be a trailer and then, oh, see more at this event at this time or whatever, where they hold their own thing. Who knows, right? I'll get into that later when I talk about my State of Play predictions, but whenever GTA pre-orders go on sale, whenever that is, it doesn't matter. It could be in the middle of the night, 3 o'clock in the morning, crack of dawn. Like, people gonna be on it. Like, they can put it up whenever, and it's gonna be on. It's gonna be crazy. Drop 100K in the cash. Yo, Jeremiah, you funny, yo. All right, yo, let's move it along, man. Something else I want to talk about, man. I want to talk about Bungie real quick. Can I talk about Bungie? Because I was talking about this a little bit in TZ Space the other day, but I got to talk about Bungie and Bungie's fall from grace, right? Because it's absolutely crazy. Bungie's fall from grace is absolutely insane to see, right? We're talking about a studio that has created one of the great, in my opinion, two of the greatest games that I've ever played, you know, with Halo and later on with Destiny 1 and Destiny 2. Anybody that knows me, you know, Destiny is a franchise that I have put I put a ton of hours into Destiny 1 and Destiny 2. I've played every piece of content, got the platinums for both games. This is absolutely an incredible, you know, a franchise and a series that I love, and it's very near and dear to my heart. Bungie is a studio that I love as well, and can appreciate the great experiences. Yo, D Nice, what's up? I can appreciate the great experiences that they've provided me throughout my gaming life so far, but to see Bungie's fall from grace it's hard to watch, man, right? And to see Destiny go out like this is even harder to watch when you see where Destiny started to where it ended up. Where Destiny started to where it improved, to where it made mistakes when the second game, to where it improved again, to where they made mistakes again, to where now it's on a decline. Like, to see this 10-year journey of the Destiny franchise and its ups and downs and whatnot, it's hard to watch, man. It's really hard to watch because I personally feel Bungie caught lightning in a bottle with Destiny, right? Because with Destiny 1, it released, it was, they had changed a lot of stuff initially when it came to the game. There was a lot of stuff missing from the game initially. It had raids, it had PvP, PvE. It was just a smorgasbord of content and things that you can do with the raids, with the alerts, with the 3-player co-op missions, with the story, with the PvP, like in all these guns and armors and everything that you can grind to get. And it was just fun. It was fun as hell. It was addictive. And the game scored like a 6 when it came to reviews for Destiny 1. It wasn't a well-received game initially, right? Even, and the thing is, Destiny, if you ask any true Destiny player, any hardcore Destiny player, they'll tell you Destiny 1 didn't get really good until, it wasn't Taken King. Yes, it was Taken King. What was the first major expansion for Destiny 1? Was it Taken King? Somebody correct me in the chat. I forgot what the first major expansion was for Destiny, because Lord of the Wolves and all that was great, but those were like middle of the road. Those weren't like true expansions. It was Taken King. Thank you. Destiny 1 got really good and it blew up with Taken King. And that's when they had truly caught, like, now here's the thing. It's two sides you have to look at this with Destiny, or with Destiny. What Destiny had going for it out the gate was the fact that it was made by Bungie and they had split off from Microsoft, and this was their first game that they were making on their own and all these different things. And again, it's Bungie. So the Bungie name is going to hold a lot of weight within the industry. And then the game that you saw, because I remember playing the alpha and the beta of Destiny 1, and it was like, I was like, yo, this is like the next evolution of Halo. Like, yeah, I love this. This is awesome. The gunplay, like, it was just so addictive and fun. And the Titan and the Hunter and the Warlock and the powers. And man, this game was just so revolutionary during, in my opinion, at least for me, during its time and what it was doing. They caught lightning in the bottle. Now, it didn't release perfect, but it was good enough and it had enough replay value, and they were just dipping their toes into that live service bag to where it was addictive. Because again, and I say this all the time when it comes to live service games, a live service game, again, you can't create content infinitely, right? You can't have something that's just constantly there's going to be a live service games to where you're going to be replaying content. You're going to be replaying stuff. That's just the nature of live service, because one, some people can't create that fast and that vast that quickly and it be quality, right? So it's going to take time. So one of the most important things that you have to do when it comes to live service is you have to have a very addictive and good gameplay loop. It's very important that you have that, right? So Bungie had perfected that gameplay loop. You know, the gunplay was good enough. The powers was unique enough to keep you coming back. The grinding, even though a lot of people complained, I enjoyed the grinding in Destiny 1. Like, I never had a problem, like, you know, but that's me. But the grinding that you did in Destiny 1, the raids, the teamwork, the communication, the PvP, it had it all. When Taken King dropped, that's when they caught lightning in the bottle, and that series took off. And it was a dream. Taken King set Destiny up to really be that success that it ended up being before its fall from grace. It had a rough start, but Taken King brought it back on track, and it was absolutely phenomenal. Now, here's the problem. After Taken King, the next expansion was really good as well. That final expansion that they did for D1, the Iron Lords expansion, very quick. It definitely fell off. Like, it wasn't as good. There wasn't enough there. The raid was okay, but it was the what's the name raid? Iron Lord's expansion wasn't all that great, right? But Bungie had learned enough from D1 and its failures and success that when you went to D2, you were thinking that, okay, they had the factions where you could grind up factions to get faction specific weapons with not Crucible, well, yeah, you had the Crucible grinding to get, like, you know, different weapons and things like that. But then you had the 3 factions. It was Future War Cult, Oh my God, what was the other two factions? Dead Orbit. It was Dead Orbit, Future War Cult, and what was the other faction in the tower? I forgot the other faction's name. Somebody in the chat's going to tell me. But again, they had the factions that you pledge your allegiance to, grind and get those faction-specific weapons, do faction-specific missions. It was just so much. It was so much that Monarchy, New Monarchy. Thank you, Sean. New Monarchy. So it was Dead Orbit, Future War Cult, and New Monarchy. Those were the three factions that you could pledge your allegiance to in the tower in D1 and actually do faction specific missions, build up that faction to get specific weapons and armor and all this other stuff. It like coming from at the end of D1 was in a position to where it's like, yo, they learned from their mistakes early on and built upon it with the success of the other expansions, where D1, by the end of D1, it was the creme de la creme. It was top tier. It was the de facto experience when it came to Destiny, in terms of Destiny, what you thought Destiny would be. Now, fast forward to D2. One of the biggest problems from D1, that a lot of people complained about, myself included, was the story. Now, obviously, the story of Destiny 1, that wasn't the main thing to pull you in. It was the raids and everything else. Like, the story was definitely the weakest part of D1. It was decent, but there was, the storytelling was definitely in a lot of other areas when it came to Destiny. Fast forward to D2, they took those complaints and they revamped it. D2 story was phenomenal. The storytelling in D2 definitely was a lot better. But here's the problem. Everything else that was great in D1, or most everything else that was great in D1, did not make it into D2. Factions, gone. Being able to pledge your allegiance to all these different, gone. And so D2 was actually less of a experience, less of a complete experience, at least out the gate, where they had a strong story, they had a great raid, they had some great things that you can do, but it felt like it came and went too quickly. So D2 out the gate didn't have, and it was missing a lot of weapons, a lot of the maps they didn't bring back until much later, some PvP stuff. Like, it was a lot of things that just, they messed up in D2 in the beginning, but they fixed it rather quickly to where it was good. The raids were good. The storytelling was phenomenal. Events, all these other different things that they were adding into the game. Like, it was like, all right, D2 was in a great position. So you're thinking, okay, D2 was on that, on the incline, like it's going up. Like, all right, we good. Here's where D2, in my opinion, and again, you don't have to agree with this, but here's where Destiny 2, for me personally, it lost me. It didn't lose me personally, but this is something that, like, I didn't agree with, to where I was like, okay, I see what Destiny 2 is doing. I don't rock with this. When they started sunsetting weapons and content from the game, and see, here's the thing that pissed me off. I'm like, oh, you can still use the weapon, but the thing is, when a new expansion comes out, your light level also increases, and so all the weapons or things that you like to use will also naturally increase to a new base level, and then you can grind them up to the max level for that expansion time frame for that season. The problem that Destiny did that I didn't like is weapons that you had to, it's not like these were just weapons that you just got out of nowhere. These were weapons that you really had to be good at the game to get. And for those who played Destiny a long time, especially D2 with the Crucible, Not Forgotten, Luna's Howl, not Luna's Howl, Not Forgotten, I forgot the other hand cannon from a Crucible that you could grind, but there was a lot of weapons that you really had to grind the competitive in Destiny. The Recluse, the Mountaintop, like, it was a lot of weapons that were just so good. Like, these were like meta. These were weapons that were meta for a long time. And I understand Bungie wanted to remove that and kind of change up the meta, but they sunsetted a lot of content and a lot of weapons that people grinded hard for. I didn't like it, especially the content that people paid money for. They sunset that stuff. That for me, the Redrick's Claymore, that's another one, Damien. That for me is what really, I was like, okay, yeah, like, you losing me quite a bit here, Destiny. I grinded a lot. I put thousands of hours into this game, into these raids, into learning the raids and getting this weapon and getting that weapon and getting this weapon or whatever, or armor piece or whatever from Crucible. And you're just taking it away. Like, you're making these guns useless. How can you do that? That for me was one of the worst decisions that Bungie made, and I think that was, in my opinion, that a large contributing factor to the community beginning to dwindle, because you're taking content away, you're taking story elements away, like you just took so much away from the game that people paid for. It's not a good look. And from there, they're like, oh, these weapons, these armors or whatever, or this content will come back in like different fashion or whatever case may be. It just wasn't the same. It just wasn't the same. And that was the beginning of the end for me, where I started, for me as a hardcore long-term Destiny player, I began to stop playing the game as much, to the point where I would only come back on Destiny at the start of every expansion, grind up real quick to the match light, because they made that too easy and made all of that like just super easy. Grind up to the max light, do the raid, do the story with my crew, and then I would be off, and that would be it. I would do a little Crucible here and there, but then that was it. They made comp too easy, right? It's just so many things that they catered to so much of the wrong crowd, and they just were being pulled in too many different directions to where we have what we have now. It sucks to see. It sucks to see, right? But a lot of that is Bungie's own fault. Oh yeah, taking burns off a primary weapon. Yo, it was so much. They messed up the meta and was constantly trying to change the meta every season, and it was just bad, yo. I was just like, yeah, I'm good, man. Like, you guys are just, I'm good. The game became this, oh, just chase what the meta is that season. I'm like, nah, I'm good. I'm good. There's no individuality. If you're not using this weapon, you're not going to be effective in a raid or in this game or in this match or whatever. I was just like, I'm good. I'm good. The building of the different power skills and stuff like that, that was cool. But even that became meta-based, where you couldn't really build how you wanted. You had to build what the meta was for that season, or else you weren't going to be effective at all. And I'm just like, I'm good. I'm good. You got it. You got it, Bungie. And that's where they started messing up, and the community started to decline even more to where we have it now, to where they've lost so much of the community over the years, and now they're talking about the final expansions being created, or the final thing. There's going to be no more updates and stuff like that. I was just like, yeah, like it sucks to see Destiny go out like this, and then to hear that they are not making Destiny 3 after the marathon is not really hitting the way it should. Now obviously they've adding this PvP aspect, and they updating it, but in my opinion, Marathon is not a fun game. I played Marathon. I played it during the early alphas, and then I played the server slam thing they did. It's just not fun to me, man. Like I'm not really in it. And granted, full disclaimer, I'm not a extraction shooter player, right? So these games wouldn't naturally cater to me anyway. But I was hoping, and I was going into it thinking, because it's Bungie, because of how great they are when it comes to gameplay and all these other different things, my hope and expectation was that they would convert me to be someone that's excited to play extraction shooters, because it's Bungie and they're great when it comes to gameplay. It just was not good to me. Now obviously, to each their own. There's people that might find some excitement in that game, but it's not getting the same level of success. And a big part of that is because Bungie, it's not, I don't think it's necessarily a game that was, well, one, there's a lot of other competition out there. You've got Arc Raiders and Escape from Tarkov and all these other extraction shooters and shit that's out there that people are playing. So you're getting into that market, trying to break into that. That's a tough thing anyway. But you would think because it's Bungie, they're able to do that. But clearly that's not the case. But the other side of it is, this game was plagued with a lot of negativity around it before its launch anyway, where this dude, the whole art debacle, where they were stealing some dude's art and didn't give him credit, and all these other different things. And on the back end, and then prior to Marathon, they had the big layoffs that happened, and they laid off some really prominent big players and people, and they weren't meeting their financial targets when it came to Destiny. They, revenue for the game plummeted like 45% or something like that. Like the decline for Bungie, we've been seeing it for like at least the last 2 years or so. right? So it's no surprise that we see them in this predicament now, in the situation that they're in. But here's the problem. And I said this on WAPs. Where's my drink? You know, I'm talking a lot. I don't got my water. I don't got my water with me. Hold on one second, guys. I'm talking too damn much. Jesus. Okay. All right, cool. All right, we back. Matador, what up? Wham, what's good, man? Shout out to you, man. Shout out to everybody here. Yo, Darth, what's good? Once Destiny started to feel like a chore, you was done. Yeah, man. I can understand that. I can understand that. Wild Wolf, what's up? Shout out to everybody here. Luke, everybody, appreciate y'all. With Bungie, my whole thing is, yo, Gamer Boy, what's up? Is that the purpose to talk a lot? Yeah, I know, right? I just gotta make sure I have my my drink with me. Whenever I do that. What was I about to say? Yeah, so then fast forward to Bungie and where they're at now. Where Bungie, oh no, let me get to PlayStation now. Let me talk about this from the PlayStation side. Because I was somebody that was looking at the play, and listen, you know, if we go back to the old episodes of WUPS, you know, I held myself accountable. I took the L. You know, Barry was right. You understand? Because I was somebody that was definitely like, yeah, you know, this, because when PlayStation was going down that whole live service route of, you know, wanting to do live service games and stuff like that, I was thinking that Bungie would have been a great person to have in PlayStation's corner to help guide them through that live service, through the live service trenches, because of their experience in both winning and losing within that live service realm. We understand how volatile live service games can be, and so having somebody like Bungie under your belt to kind of help you with that, at that time I thought it would be beneficial to PlayStation. I did, right? So I definitely was looking at that as, yeah, like this is definitely something I think it would be beneficial if PlayStation wants to get into that live service realm. Fast forward to now, I think, well, one, I think that they definitely overpaid for Bungie, 100%. That 3.2 billion, and we understand why. Like, here's the other misconception, right? Like, a lot of that wasn't just the purchasing of the studio. A lot of that was also, the majority of that actually was to retain the talent, which, you know, again, they've talked about this, right? Like, you know, like this is why, like, the conversations online and gaming, you really have to go into these conversations knowing what you're talking about, because it's easy for you to get gaslit. Like, people will try to gaslight you when you kind of have these types of conversations with people, because they'll lead you to believe that PlayStation just spent the 3.2 billion and that was just for the studio. And it's like, no, majority of that money went to retaining the staff and you know, adding to their pensions and all these other different things. Like, there was a lot of back end HR administrative things that went into that extra $1+ billion that went to the purchase of the studio. That's one thing, right? But see, PlayStation is also smart in how they approach their side of it too, because yes, I think PlayStation might have overspent because they didn't really, and I'll get to that in a second, but I also want to talk about it from the PlayStation side real quick when it comes to the contract, because it was the stipulations of the contract was that Bungie, who was already in financial trouble prior to being acquired by PlayStation. That's the other thing that you have to be mindful of, is Bungie was already in trouble prior to PlayStation. So, like, keep that in mind. But the stipulation of the contract was that Bungie had to operate at a certain level when it came to the revenue if they wanted to remain independent from PlayStation, right? Where PlayStation necessarily wouldn't be calling the shots, because, again, they're able to meet that income or revenue threshold that was set and stipulated within the contract. Clearly, that's not the case. Clearly, that wasn't the case. And I think, I hate to say this, but I think Jim Ryan and the team knew that they wouldn't be able to maintain that or sustain that, just looking at the health of the company internally, with the success of the game. I'm sure like they looked at that and said, yeah, we'll let them try for another year or two, but we already know that they're going to be assimilated and become one with the Borg eventually, so we ain't really too worried. Sure, whatever. Yeah, you want to be independent for a little bit? Sure, go ahead. Like I think PlayStation knew that, because that's not a deal that I think PlayStation would take without believing that they would reap some type of benefit from it, where like you just give the studio full autonomy to be outside of the PlayStation operating umbrella and be able to operate independently, and there not be a level of success to be expected to be achieved, which is why you saw that stipulation in the contract to begin with, because I believe that Jim Ryan and the team went into there knowing or believing that they wouldn't be able to sustain that long term because of the health of Destiny, and more specifically, the health of the studio entirely. Again, and I don't know any information, but just looking at it from a business perspective, you don't put a type of clause or stipulation like that in there unless you believe that they wouldn't be able to hit those thresholds or those levels. But what do I know? Anyway, but Bungie definitely sold PlayStation up a river, because they were going to be establishing this committee to help them with game service and live service games and all these other different things. And we see how that has crashed and burned as well, right? From the PlayStation side, PlayStation has seen immense failure when it comes to their live service games. Not all of them, obviously some of them are successful or good, but more of them have failed than have succeeded, to the point where it's believed and looked at that these future PlayStation live service games, so fair games or whatever the case may be, like there's no faith or belief that these games will be successful. Concord was a commercial and immense flop and failure, right? Regardless of how much I enjoyed that game, it was a massive failure. And then to see the cancellation of some of their other live service games and the closure of studios like Blue Point and all these other different things, the failure for PlayStation when it comes to live service, it's a chink in their armor they will never be able to wipe out. They'll never be able to buff that scratch out. It's a huge failure, right? And you have to look at it, on the outside looking in, you have to look at it and say, well, what the hell was Bungie telling y'all? Like what advice or what direction were you getting from Bungie? Because it seems like Bungie wasn't really helping them at all, because Bungie now have found themselves in an even worse hole. Then, I hate to bring this up, but I'm going to bring it up. Factions. Now listen, I know what Neil Druckmann and Naughty Dog and team have said about not wanting to dedicate the entire studio to a live service game and all this other shit, and I get you. I'm not really one for conspiracy theories, but listen, man. I believe that Bungie had some type of hand in that cancellation, you can't tell me you put all this effort and time into the game to then just have it canceled, then to just have your game come out that's so similar to some of these other games. Listen, man. What about Naughty Dog, man? Naughty Dog? Crazy. Absolutely crazy. Absolutely crazy. What is that? Single player studios who've had limited access and live service adaptations of their IP should have been Sony's target. Sony, in my opinion, Sony should not have had single player only studios that were notorious for making single player games be the ones to take on the live service gamble. I don't think they should have had them doing that, right? Now, here's the thing. A lot of PlayStation studios have experience in making multiplayer games, because PlayStation studios have been making multiplayer games for generations, right? Especially Naughty Dog, right? Naughty Dog is not shy to making a multiplayer experience, because they've been doing it for generations for multiple games with the Uncharted games, right? Uncharted 2 arguably is, in my opinion at least, to this day, is still one of the most fun and enjoyable multiplayer games that I've ever played, right? Uncharted 4 or Lost Legacy, that multiplayer is fun as hell. I still go back to that time to time, right? You know, Mag and Warhawk and all these, you know, PlayStation is not shy or not somebody that is inept when it comes to making a multiplayer experience. So let's get that out the way, right? But I do think that, yo, Jenna Hayes, what's up? I do think that PlayStation was a little too bullish, and in the amount of live service games that they were creating, but two, the amount of people or the type of studios that they had making these live service games, right? There's no reason why Blue Point should have been trying to make a God of War live service game. That is absolutely insane. Why would you relegate Blue Point to be making something like that? Why? That is absolutely disgusting and insane. That's disgusting. Ben Studio. I love Ben Studio. But what's up with their live service game? That like, you know, that there's another one. And I think part of that has to do with, you know, Days Gone not being as big as of a commercial success as PlayStation would have wanted it to be, or whatever the case may be. Obviously, John Garvin and the old guard over at Ben Studio, you know, it did sell good. It did sell well. But maybe, you know, whatever the case may be, it just didn't have that critical success that PlayStation was looking for. But the point that I'm trying to make is PlayStation was also too bullish with their approach to live service, but Bungie did not help them or steer them in a direction to where they would be able to weather that volatile storm of live service. So, like, you know, both of them messed up in that regard. But the point that I'm making with Bungie is Bungie definitely was a failure. Like, Bungie definitely is you know, it in my opinion, it wasn't a good purchase for PlayStation. But now they'll more than likely become one with the Borg. You understand? They'll fall in line with the additional PlayStation studios, and they'll more than likely be relegated down to making an IP that PlayStation approves. And that's the end of that. That's just what it is now. I love the hell out of Days Gone too. Days Gone is a great game, a great franchise. Like, I love Days Gone so much. Like, I love that game so much. I hate that it didn't receive the proper success that it really deserves, honestly. But, you know, who am I? What do I know? So yeah, that's Bungie. That's, you know, that's the whole Bungie debacle. Crazy. But yeah, like, people saying that, oh yeah, Bungie, PlayStation is the cause of Bungie's failure. No, not at all. Not even close. Yo, E Rice, man, appreciate you for the super chat. He says there is a petition on change.org for Sony to make D3 with over 100k signatures right now. Do you think Destiny 3 should be the next step for Bungie? Honestly, yeah, I hate to say this. No, I don't, because what they are doing with Destiny 2 clearly does not work. It's not working anymore. Hold on, chat. I don't know. I thought I heard her calling me. I don't know. Anyway, what was I saying? Oh yeah, Destiny 3. You know, if you're gonna go into Destiny 3 doing the same things you're doing with Destiny 2, clearly that's not working, because we see Destiny 2 on a decline, right? Now obviously naturally live service games decline, but there's certain things that they're doing in D2 that they can't go into D3 doing that. What I want to see at D3, honestly, I don't know where the story can go from here, because they've concluded, at least as far as I'm concerned, with major expansions. The final shape, that was the end of it anyway. Like, in my opinion, you killed off, I forgot old boy name, but you know, you killed off old boy. Like, all that is done. In my opinion, I think Destiny is just, as a story, is done. Like, what more can you really tell, in my opinion? But you can't, if you are going to do a Destiny 3, you can't go into Destiny 3 doing the same bullshit you're doing with D2. It's not going to work. That's not going to work. Not at all. That's not gonna work. That's definitely not gonna work. So if they doing that, I say no, don't make a Destiny 3. But then it's like, okay, if they don't do that, then what should they make next? Honestly, I don't know. I'm not the head of the studio. A small part of me would want Destiny 3, but then there's a larger part of me that really doesn't want them to take on that task and it also fail, because then that could be even more detrimental to the studio. And Destiny is not a cheap game. Like, we're talking hundreds of millions of dollars that go into the creation of the game and that world and whatnot. I wouldn't want them to go into D3 doing the same thing they were doing in D2, and then it causes the studio to now be shut down completely, and now they're gone from the industry entirely. I'd rather they would make something that's a little bit more safe, and something a little bit more safe, I hate to say this, right? But something more safe might be an old school PlayStation IP being made by Bungie. Give Bungie, again, Bungie is still a very great first person shooter game creator, right? They made one of the best first person shooters of all time, Halo. Why not give Bungie Resistance? I would say Bungie's next project needs to be something that is a little bit more safe. And I feel like an old school PlayStation IP being remade from the ground up with Bungie at the helm would be a little bit more of a safer bet, both financially and from a PlayStation community perspective, than a D3. I know that sounds crazy. And again, this is just my opinion. So like, I'm thinking like Resistance, right? Remake Resistance with, because Bungie as a storyteller and as a first person shooter creator, they've got that down. Like they are good at that. That is that's their thing. They're good at that. I just feel D3 is too much of a gamble for them right now. Too much of a gamble financially right now. I say give them an existing IP for them to remake. And then after that, obviously they probably need to also clean up shop back in the back room. Leadership probably needs to change up. There's probably certain things back there that needs to also go, from that perspective. But I think their next game needs to be something that's a remake from the ground up with a Bungie spin on it. I think that's a bit of a safer bet, in my opinion. And then obviously, Insomniac can be at the helm, advising them 100%. But let Bungie remake Resistance. Why not? Obviously, Insomniac can still advise them, yeah, you should still do this with Nathan Hill. You should do this with the Chimera. The bullseye weapon should function like this, or whatever. The carbine should be like this. All that. And even with the multiplayer aspect of it, the multiplayer should be this and that. However they want to do it. But I give them an existing PlayStation IP for them to remake. That's my take. That's what I think they should do, in my opinion. Games for Eternity, what's up, man? Appreciate you. Will depend on the quality of the games and whether gamers want those games. Yeah, quality is definitely still very important as well. You definitely want that PlayStation essence when it comes to how games are being created. But yeah, there's the Bungie thing. Two more topics, guys. Then we'll, I'll let you guys go. It's going, it's a long show, guys. This definitely gonna be a longer than normal show for sure. Can I talk about exclusives real quick? Yeah, boy, talk about exclusives. Is that allowed? There's what happened to my computer? Hold on, my keyboard went to sleep. Can I talk about exclusives? Is that allowed? I don't know why my keyboard acting up. Oh no. Oh no. There we go. All right. PlayStation. PlayStation exclusives. PlayStation. Can I talk about that real quick, guys? Can your boy talk about exclusives real quick? Is that allowed here? Can I speak on that? Is that allowed, chat? Put a 1 in the chat if it's okay to talk about PlayStation exclusive. Talk to your boy. Talk to your boy. Let me know. Let me know. Let me know. Oh, let me know. Let me know. Let me know. Yo, let me know. Let me know. I want to talk. I want to talk about these PlayStation exclusives. Yo, Jack Move in the building. Yo, shout out to my boy Jack. Appreciate you coming through, man. Listen, yo, side note, yo, my condolences, man. Real talk, man. My condolences to you and your family, bro. Man, it's tough. It's tough. I'm definitely praying for you, Jack. I'm definitely praying for you and praying for your family, bro. I know it's tough, man. Believe me. I know it's tough. I promise you. I know. So I'm definitely praying for you, man. I'm definitely praying for you and your family, for real. Man. Yeah, but I appreciate you being here with us, Jack, man, for real. I definitely appreciate you, bro. All right. Man, that yo, Verge, what's up, man? Appreciate you. All right, let's talk about these exclusives real quick. Yo, Bats, what's good, man? My boy Baticus Prime in the building. Shout out to my boy Jason Schreier. Yo, Jason Schreier, a real New Yorker, man. Yo, one thing about listen, Jason Schreier, that's a New Yorker. New Yorkers don't play. New Yorkers, one thing about New Yorkers is about their business. You understand? New Yorkers is all about their money. They about their business. They about getting shit done. New Yorkers don't play. That's why they say, if you can make it in New York, you can make it anywhere, because it's hard to make it in New York. And when you do make it in New York, you walk around like your shit don't stink, because it don't. Because you made it in one of the toughest cities in the world. Shout out to New York. New Yorkers. Shout out to my boy Jason Schreier, right? My boy Jason Schreier, he out here, he putting out the news, you understand? Like he do, putting out the rumors, the leaks, the stuff from his perspective, you understand? So we're gonna talk about it, right? Scoop! PlayStation Studio business CEO Herman Hulst told staff in a town hall Monday morning that the company's narrative single-player games will now be PlayStation exclusive, confirming Bloomberg's reporting from earlier this year. Listen, man. Now, obviously, we're gonna get the sea salt out the cabinet, because we got to talk about this with a grain of salt, obviously, right? This is obviously hasn't been confirmed by PlayStation yet, so full disclaimer with that. Things can change, right? This is still a rumor. This has not been confirmed in any capacity, so please keep that in mind when talking about this. But because it is Jason Schreier who is saying this, I'm going to speak about this in a little bit more of a I told you so type of perspective, right? Only because of who is that is reporting on this. Now, if it was anybody else, like, Detective Seeds or whoever, I wouldn't even have entertained this bullshit. But it's Jason Schreier, so I'm gonna entertain it because of who it is. Anyway, listen, man, I gotta go back to WUPS. I have to go back to What's Up PlayStation podcast, right? Because one thing about myself and Bari, right? I'm gonna see if I can find this episode too. One thing about Bari and myself, is we like as much as people like to shit on Whoops and say, oh yeah, Whoops is a fanboy podcast. What's up, PlayStation? EAT. I should have had this episode queued up too. I thought I had it queued up, but I don't. What's up, PlayStation podcast? You know, one thing about us is, you know, people would have always loved to say, yeah, you know, Whoops is, we are biased podcasts. We were a podcast that, you know, we just never kept it real. We were always trying to, you know, whatever. You know, people were always trying to bash Whoops, right? But is this the episode? GTA 6 PS5 time exclusive. This is 5 years ago. This is 5 years ago, chat. This is 5 years ago, right? I believe it is this episode. See, one thing about Whoops. See, here's the first of all, can I gloat for a sec? First of all, I miss Whoops, man. I ain't gonna lie to y'all. I always tell Barry all the time too. Like I do miss Whoops, man. But it was time for us to, you know, obviously, just, you know, move on, obviously, because certain goals weren't met. But I do miss Whoops, and, you know, Saturday mornings with the Whoops boys and whatnot, and, you know, chopping it up with our PlayStation community. And like, yo, we had so much stuff that we was gonna do, both content wise and like event wise. Like, it was a lot that we would have done if certain things were met. But man, I miss Whoops. But, you know, seeing this definitely is bringing back a lot of memories. But I do want to talk about this, right? Because this is a 5-year-old podcast, right? 5 years old this podcast is, right? Were we doing timestamps during this time? I don't think, you know, shout out to Viper. I don't think Viper is doing timestamps for us yet. 5 years ago. Yo, right? So this might be one of the podcasts where I gotta look through the goddamn podcast, yo. Hold on. But the point that I want to set everything up first. One thing about Whoops is we always maintain our stance on exclusivity, right? Always have myself and Bari as well. Shout out to Bari. We have maintained our and people in the community, they shunned us. And we're talking about PlayStation people and Xbox, like everybody was, oh, those Whoops boys are fanboys because why are you so mad about games that are not being exclusive? Going to PC means more money, this and that, and this is better this is great for gamers. You're gonna see more because of all these different things, right? For years. And regardless, myself and Barry, Whoops boys, we maintained the same stance. My stance has never ever changed. Now here's the thing. From the business, well, listen, from the business side, I didn't understand shit either, being honest with you, but I accepted what it was. There's a difference between being understanding and accepting, right? I accepted, like, yo, look, this is what PlayStation is doing. It is what it is. You just have to move with it. Like, because people was expecting, like, every time a game would go to PC and it get announced, people were expecting PlayStation or myself or Barry or whoever to just be like, oh, what's your thoughts? I've always maintained the same stance. It is what it is. Like, this is what they're doing. I don't agree with it, but I'm not going to keep talking about why I disagree with it. It is what it is. That's why, like, over the years, I stopped talking about it as much because my thoughts and stance are out there, and always has been, right? And like, you can find it on Whoops. You can find it on my personal channel. You could even find it on Speak From The Heart on Barry's channel, where we was talking about this on his channels. You can find this anywhere where my stance has never, ever, ever changed. But let's go to Whoops 5 years ago, right? Oh, this is old school stuff. Woo! Oh, hold up. Oh, that's kind of nice. Oh, that's the good stuff. That's the good stuff. Yo, this is definitely a Bari episode because this is a Bari song. Bari was definitely one. This is a Bari episode for sure. This is a Bari episode because of the song. Bari loved music like this. This is a Bari episode 100%. Oh, that's the good shit. That's the good shit. I love this shit, yo. Oh, I'm loving this. I'm loving this. This is old school. Oh, the beat about to drop. The beat about to drop. Beat about to drop. Ooh. Oh, this is too good. Oh, I love this. I love this. Ooh, look at you hear that guitar drop. Ooh. Oh, this brings back so many memories. This brings back so many memories. I might shed a tear. Oh yeah, that's that good shit. That's that good shit. Oh yeah, that's that good shit. All right, my fault. My fault, chat. I went down memory lane just now. I'm sorry. You understand? You know, little sentimental moment. I apologize. All right, let's get to it. Let's get to it. My fault, chat. My fault. Y'all like Persona. Get back to the show. I got y'all. Hold on. Hold on. That shit got me kind of hot. That shit got your boy hot as hell. Lord have mercy. All right, here we go. All right.
Bro, like this, when you cast a build, we'll save it. We'll save it for the.
I was gonna say.
Yeah, our mics wasn't even perfect yet either. We had good mics, but like the sound just was like it was just different. But like, all right, let me damn, I wish we had timestamps. We don't got time.
Save it for the topic. Save it for the topic.
Man, yo, we feel so OP, man. But yeah, that's my spotlight game of the week, guys. I expand our first party titles to the PC platform in order to promote further growth in our profitability.
Here we go.
What's your general thoughts on this whole strategic direction that PlayStation's heading into?
Now listen, this is back when we used to have the chat. Well, we always had the chat, but watch the chat as we talking about this whole exclusivity thing and PlayStation putting their games on P. Watch the chat as well. Listen, I love our WUPS community. This is early days, so we were still establishing ourselves, right? But it was a lot of WUPS folks that was coming at me and Bari when we were talking about games going to PC and how we disagree. Go ahead, Persona and Bari, talk about it.
In the future.
Yeah. So, if you watch my show on Monday, when I really went in on this topic, and Bari, you know that we've talked about this quite a few times this year alone, because of everything that's been happening, everything that was happening with PlayStation at the beginning of the year when we Zero Dawn going to PC. And, that finally being confirmed, you and I for PlayStation exclusives going to PC. And we're not just talking, you know, one exclusive here, one exclusive there, regardless of how old the game is or how new, our feelings remain the same. And for me personally, I double down on that even to this day, that when it comes to PlayStation and PlayStation's ecosystem, and when it comes to the PlayStation console itself, it's very important that the thing that keeps PlayStation on top, the thing that keeps PlayStation relevant, the thing that keeps PlayStation strong is its exclusives.
$100%.
This is a definitive fact. This is not an opinion. This is not any fanboy talk. This is a fact. When you think of PlayStation, when you have hundreds of thousands of people that their preferred platform is PlayStation, and you ask them why, it's not because the box looks pretty. It's because of the games, right? So when I'm seeing PlayStation move in this type of
And see, here's the thing, right? Because you're always going to have people that try to do the argument of, oh, well, PlayStation games don't sell as much of a Call of Duty, as much as a Call of Duty or EA or Madden or whatever, and or Fortnite, whatever the case may be, right? People always love to use third-party examples as to why first party does not work when your metric that you're using to determine that success is much more widespread, right? Yes, a Call of Duty is supposed to sell better, is supposed to sell more because it is more widely available. Not only that, but it is going to cater to a larger audience, right? But the difference is that for the exclusives, when it comes to exclusive games, if a game is selling 10 million, right, 20 million, right, and we'll use God of War. God of War sold 20 million. Horizon sold 20 million, right? People will look at that 20 million sold on one console and then look at that third-party game that only sells 3 million on that same console and deem the third party as a success, but not the single player, right? The exclusives, or what sets a console apart, is what pulls people in, right? Everybody isn't going to buy every single game under the sun. It's just not financially, physically possible, right? But there is always going to be a game that somebody may look at and say, oh yeah, I definitely would love to try that out. Let me pick that console up and get it. A great example is Spider-Man, right? Spider-Man is such a widely known and beloved character, right? There are people who bought consoles specifically for Spider-Man, right? But when you pull them into that ecosystem of PlayStation, they now, as a PlayStation gamer, or excuse me, from PlayStation's perspective, they now have you in their ecosystem to where, oh, okay, if Jack, Jane, and Jill are all over here on PlayStation, and what pulled them in was Spider-Man, right, and exclusive, but then they see that Fortnite, Roblox, Minecraft, Call of Duty, and all these other things are also playable here, that choice has now become even easier for Jack, Jane, and Jill to where they want to play, what they want to play next, and where they want to play it, which then keeps the money that PlayStation makes within the ecosystem of PlayStation, because the entry point was that exclusive game. That's the difference, right? Exclusive's purpose within gaming is its individuality and what separates it from its competition. So when you're sitting in front of an Xbox, a PlayStation, and a Nintendo, you can look at all three and you can say, I own you because of this, I own you because of that game, and I own you because of this game. That's it. But from PlayStation's perspective, they pull you into the ecosystem, and then those third-party games that people boast about of their sales and the financials, that also plays into the success of PlayStation, because if they are buying the game for the exclusive as the entryway, and then they stay there because of the third parties that are more widely renowned, more widely accepted, or more widely played, that is now killing two birds with one stone, because now you have access, now you have that consumer spending money exclusively within your ecosystem, with the entry point to that ecosystem being the exclusive game. And again, every game is not going to be that, right? Soros is more than likely not going to sell at the same amount of a Spider-Man or a God of War, right? But there may be a small subset of people that will buy a Soros on PlayStation because that's the game that, like, that's something that's critically acclaimed to them. Just like Wolverine. Wolverine is another great example. Wolverine is a great example of another a game that will be exclusive to PlayStation that will pull new people in to play that game, and then we'll keep them there because of the other third-party games that's there. And see, here's the other side, because people, here's the problem, and this is why I say you have, when you're going into these conversations with people online, you have to make sure that, like, people love the gaslight, and then people don't really be knowing what the fuck they talking about, right? Because people, when I see people argue this whole third party versus first party thing, it's always being argued disingenuously, right? What do I mean by that? So people love to say, well, Call of Duty is not going, Soros, let's just use Soros because it's the new kid on the block, right? Soros is not going to sell as good as a Call of Duty. It won't. It won't. It's next to impossible. It won't, right? Call of Duty or God of War. God of War actually more than likely would like sell as good as a COD, if not better. It has actually. But anyway, that's besides the point. But let's use God of War, right? God of War, it sold what it sold, but that's just one game. Here's the other side of the argument that I never see. God of War selling 20 million is one thing, and that's exclusive to PlayStation. PlayStation's marketing and what PlayStation's strategy within gaming since the start of the PlayStation 4 generation, people aren't really following what was happening to put them in this position. PlayStation, and it's funny because people were arguing against this during the ABK deal, which I'll get to in a second. The other side of this argument strategy is, and really I would argue it's just as, if not a little bit more important than the exclusive side. PlayStation has also positioned themselves within the gaming space as the de facto console when it comes to those third-party experiences, thanks to third-party timed exclusives, third-party timed exclusive deals, third-party deals where they get exclusive things on that console, or third-party marketing rights being given to PlayStation to make it look like the best place to play that third-party game is on their platform, right? So when you factor in the full market strategy for PlayStation and what they have done for the last 2 generations now, right? They've actually been functioning from both sides of the spectrum when it comes to locking down those big third-party deals and big third-party games and timed exclusivity when it comes to those big third-party titles, to where you want to and more than likely have to be here because this is the best place to play those games. But then you also funnel it to the other side of the spectrum with the exclusive games that will pull the new player in on top of the people that are already there, obviously, but also will potentially pull that new player in and have him buy the console for that game because of the exclusive, but then stay there because of the other games from a third-party perspective that's there as well. That is what PlayStation has been doing since last generation, and it has set themselves up to be this powerhouse within the big 3, within the gaming space. Now, the question goes, well, what about PC? I've been saying this for years. I hate to bring this up, but let me just bring it up anyway. Fine. We're already having a conversation, so let's talk about it. PlayStation, I've said this since the beginning. What sets a console apart is its exclusives. I don't care who you are. I don't care what side of the fence you sit on. Exclusives will always give you that individuality. This is why people love Nintendo, because Mario, Zelda, and Kirby and all these other exclusive characters that are synonymous with the Nintendo brand, right? You can't imagine playing those games anywhere else but PlayStation. So because of that, Nintendo is the powerhouse that it is because of the exclusive games and exclusive characters and how synonymous they are with PlayStation. With Nintendo. PlayStation is the powerhouse that it is because of how synonymous their characters are, how they've set themselves up from a business and marketing perspective to set them to give them that individuality to be able to say, this is where you want to play because you cannot play these games anywhere else. Xbox was also in that realm at some point with the Halo, Gears, and Forza. That diminished significantly, especially once they start putting shit on PC and ergo Game Pass, which we're gonna get into. We're gonna get into that in a second. But I want Persona and Barry to finish talking to y'all.
Direction at all in any capacity. I view it as something that is an attack on the status quo of the console market because I hate to do this comparison, but for comparison's sake we have to. For this topic we have to. When you look at PC and you look at consoles, obviously PC has a very strong advantage when it comes to the power of the PC. It's modular, you can do more with it, you can do more things and all these great things. What has kept PlayStation and other consoles relevant is its exclusives, because people can think and feel how they want. Console exclusives, especially on PlayStation, are still better than anywhere else. You're not getting the level of exclusives that you're getting on PlayStation on PC. Yeah, you got the power, but you don't have the games, right? So when I see PlayStation, for lack of a better term, caving to this type of business model, all for the sake of trying to capture a few extra dollars, right? I'm looking at it as, you are really going to well, no, not further. You're going to quicken the death of the console. Now, people may hear that and think, "Oh, Persona, you're being too dramatic. You're overreacting, right?" Fine, fine, right? You're free to feel that way, right? Perfectly fine. Will the death of consoles come in a year? Of course not. Of course not. Because one, we don't know how they're going to move with their.
Yo, I sound so fucking nerdy here. You nerdy as hell. That yo, this 5 years ago, this Persona, yo, I sound nerdy as hell right here, yo. Like, yo, I'm listening to myself talk, and I was like, yo, why does this Persona sound so fucking nerdy? Big nerd.
games.
Yeah.
So the death of consoles is not going to be in a year. It's not going. It might not even be in 2 years. It might not even be in 5. But the relevancy of consoles and what makes consoles special is under attack because of the loss of its exclusives. I don't want that for PlayStation.
and the example that you can use, again, I hate to bring this up, but let's talk about it. The example you can use is Xbox. Like, you have an example of this. So it's not like, oh, Persona, you're just howling at the moon. There's an example of this with Xbox. Look at Xbox and how much the brand of Xbox has been devalued to the point where you have people outright begging my Xbox and Microsoft and Asha to bring exclusives back because the brand of Xbox is diminished significantly. Significantly. Asha knows it. The Xbox community knows it. Them Xbox influencers definitely knew it. Even back when they were talking that whole "it's better to play everywhere" bullshit. They all knew it. They all knew it. That's why you see them now begging Asha to take games off Xbox, take games off PlayStation and put games exclusive to the Xbox so that Xbox can compete. They all know it. And the thing is, what makes it so bad is they knew it back then too. But the marching orders and their psyche wouldn't allow them to admit that, because them admitting that would them then in parallel be admitting that how PlayStation does things is the right way. Them admitting that what Xbox was doing and the route that they were going down is wrong would then be admitting that how PlayStation does things, how PlayStation is doing things from a gaming perspective is the right way. That they were wrong. Their psyche wouldn't allow it. Which is why you had people putting out entire podcasts and dissertations outright shaming PlayStation for exclusivity and timed exclusives and all these different things, when in the back of their mind, they want the same thing. That envy that they felt was not because they felt they were being wronged by PlayStation. They felt that envy and disdain that they felt towards PlayStation, it was because Xbox was not doing the same thing. That's what it's always been, that. Always, since day one. And now you're seeing everyone's true colors come, even when it comes to Game Pass. Everything I said about yo, listen, call. Y'all gotta call me Zeus or something out here. Like, I got that third eye. Yeah. Everything I said and have said over the years it's come to fruition, even down to the Game Pass side of shit. When I said they need to renege on putting their biggest games on Game Pass. Yo, listen. Every single thing that I have said has come true. Everything. Everything. Even down to them reneging on games being day and date on Game Pass. No more COD on Game Pass, day one. But the messenger is why they didn't like it. It's all about the messenger, not the message.
Yeah,
So I don't agree with none of this at all.
Yeah, I agreed, and that I don't agree with this move because, like I said, one of the biggest things that when I look at reports like this and I see your direction going in the future, I'm looking at the things that you're highlighting as far as right now. You're highlighting PlayStation 4 and PSN success, which PSN is only on one device or one platform, right? Which is PlayStation. And then you're listing things like PlayStation Plus subscribers, how that is growing. And then
You know what's so funny too? I'm gonna let Barry finish, but I have to say this as well. I remember back in the day too, when this news had first came out, right? And this is why, like, chat, I'm telling y'all, man, I don't care like who you are, what side of the fence you set on. You always want to stand by your morals and stand by your word, man. Because when push come to shove, your word is all you got, and your word, when things come in your favor, you don't never got to worry about scrambling because you stood on your square since day one. Like all these changes. Oh, well, Persona, you said this. No, I didn't. My stance has been the same since day one because this is what I believe in. I don't care if I lose a follower or somebody doesn't agree with me or whatever. This is what I believe, and this is truly what I believe as a gamer, as somebody who prefers PlayStation, as somebody that wants to see a healthy, competitive gaming market, right? This is the shit that I believed in. I believe in this. And this doesn't just go for PlayStation. This is Xbox and Nintendo. This is the big three. Exclusive games and exclusivity is important across the board. We just so happen to be talking about PlayStation, but this applies to everybody. I stand by that day one. If tomorrow Xbox say, yo, we not releasing Fable on PlayStation, cool. I'll pick it up where I can play it. That's a game that I want to play. If you want me to buy into your ecosystem and you want to re-strengthen that Xbox brand, that's what you have to do. Oh, Gears of War E-Day is not releasing on PlayStation. We only releasing it on the Xbox. Okay, that's a game I want to play. I got to pick up an Xbox to play that. That's the competition. That's how you pull people in. We all know this, though. That's the thing. We all know this, but unfortunately, you have a lot of bad actors and people being disingenuous, right? Both influence at an influencer level, all the way down to the ranking file level, pushing this agenda and this notion that exclusivity and competition is wrong. And that's not the case. That never was the case and never will be the case. Competition is very important. Competition is very good. And exclusives are very important.
PS Now, and the thing is that you're listing all these highlights and all these successes, but with
my fault. I ain't gonna cut you off, Barry. Let me say this as well. Back then, when this news came out, people were saying, "Oh, it's just old games. It's not new games. The new games are gonna be exclusive. These games are 4 years old, 5 years old. It's not that big a deal." That was what people were saying back then, and I kept telling people, why would you test something like this if you weren't going to go further? Because if it's successful, or if you're seeing initial results of what you want to see, you would expand that, would you not? People can always just, oh, it's Days Gone, it's the first God of War, it's the first Horizon, it's not the. Then look where we are now.
In your future direction, you're not listing to go where you're going for in the future. You're not listing any success that you had on the PC platform, right? It's like here's our success with PS4, but here's our success with PC as well, and here's how we're going to move in the future as far as putting our first party titles on PC. No, it's not highlighted that way. It's a one-sided success, story, and then you're saying in the next side of the story, oh, then we're going to put our first party titles on PC. In my opinion, that doesn't make any sense. Going in that direction in the future. Yeah, I understand that PC, the competition for PC is much greater. When Andrew House was there, he listed that the main reason why they put out a PS4 Pro is to compete with PC. So PlayStation gamers won't leave the PlayStation ecosystem for more power, for more resolution, right? I feel that PlayStation needs to have that same mindset because that's what's making them successful. The Andrew House way of thinking is always centered around PlayStation. I always like I said in my stream, on my channel, I always like companies that attract consumers to their platform, right? It's not you could go for the consumer as well, but you want to, that consumer's walking by the store and it's like, wait, what is that? I got to go in that store. I got to see what's up. That's how PlayStation has been successful. And that's that thing that have drawn people to the PlayStation ecosystem is the exclusives. There's people that have like, oh, I got to get a PlayStation so I can play their exclusives. But while they're doing that, right, you're going to have consumers that's going to be exploring within the PlayStation store. They're going to be looking at, oh, let me buy this theme. They went from having one thing, right? They bought it for whatever exclusive game. But that one thing expanded to, oh, let me buy these little things in the PlayStation store. Oh, you know what? I'm on PlayStation already. Let me try this game out now because
I'm gonna let Barry finish because he literally what I just said. Go ahead, Barry, finish.
It has exclusive content with Spider-Man, so let me buy Marvel's Avengers on the PlayStation 4.
Exactly what I was just saying. The exclusive is what pulls them in because you can't find it anywhere else. How are you going to pull somebody away from another platform or pull a non-game or whatever into your ecosystem? How do you do that? Exclusive games and third-party exclusive content and third-party exclusive deals. Because again, the third-party games is what makes the world go round, right? We know that. The Call of Duties, the whatever. But you got to pull them into your ecosystem. Because if I've got this console, what are you going to show me or pull me away from here to where I need to go there? There has to be something compelling enough to pull that gamer or that person or that consumer away from that platform. How do you do that? You have, and it can't be a fly-by-night thing. It's got to be a game that is so compelling that you have to buy that console. They can't miss out on that game. A Spider-Man is that kind of caliber of game. Wolverine is that kind of caliber of game. In terms of a third-party marketing deal, right? Let's say hypothetically, because it's not confirmed yet. So let's just say hypothetically, GTA 6. That is a game that is so compelling from a third-party perspective. Yes, it's available everywhere. Yes, it's available on competing platforms. Yes, it will sell immensely well on that competing platform. But the difference is the platform that's aligned with said game. To the victor goes the spoils. That's how it works. And then once you get them there, oh shit, Spider-Man 2 is here. Spider-Man 3. I played Spider-Man 1 and 2 in there. Oh, Spider-Man 3 is exclusive to here. Oh, wow, I can't wait to play that. Oh, Wolverine is releasing? What? Yo, I can't wait. I love Wolverine. That's my favorite character. Oh, what? That game's and then there you go. The money is now being spent within your ecosystem. That's it. You feel me? I'm gonna let Barry finish, and then we'll move on.
It makes sense. I already have the console. You know what I mean? So that you have that attraction there, but now when you remove that attraction and put it on another platform, you know what I mean? It kind of sullies, the PlayStation ecosystem a little bit, because now it's just like, I don't know if I want to go into that platform, or I don't need to go on that. People gonna have this. I don't need to go and buy a PlayStation. I don't need to go and purchase anything in the store, because your game is on the platform that I primarily game on, Steam or whatever. So now I'm in the Steam store doing all the things that you could have been doing on the PlayStation store. That gamer that bought PlayStation exclusives, that could have been a potential PlayStation subscriber.
Yeah.
But now your game is not there. The exclusive's not there on PlayStation. If this is what they're going forward with, we don't know the details as far as the first party titles and what they're doing. But now that's removed, that's a potential loss of a PlayStation Plus subscriber.
And not only that, but
oh my God, this nerd Persona. Go ahead, Persona, talk, nerd.
Because we're obviously looking at this at an extreme level, right?
Yeah.
Because we're looking at it at a worst case scenario.
And we're fans.
Well, yeah, we're fans, and that's something that I want everybody to understand, is that my love for PlayStation comes from the games. Yeah. It's not the box; it's the games. That's what.
It's not the box; it's the games. I've been saying this for years, right? What kept me as a long-time PlayStation fan through generation are the games. If the games are not there, I'm not there. Yes, I'm a PlayStation fan. Absolutely. I've been a PlayStation fan and a fan of the games and the brand for years, decades. The box is not why. It's the games.
Pulled me in from day one of every PlayStation console. So, everyone, if games were to go their day and date, of course, every single person on PlayStation isn't going to go and build out a PC. Of course not. Of course not. You are going to have people that are going to stay on the console, stay within that ecosystem. That's fine. But any loss of sale or any loss of a potential customer, in my opinion, is bad.
Yeah.
And I'm talking a potential customer on within the PlayStation ecosystem, because putting a game on PC is not within the PlayStation. That's not, you're outside of the PlayStation ecosystem, which is something which I found very funny, because when you read the report, they speak so heavily of building out this ecosystem and making games, making better games, getting more studios, pulling more people in, loving the numbers, again, 112. And this was in like June or May, or whenever this report was drawn up. Now PlayStation is easily at 120, 125 million sold. Mm-hmm. So when you're talking ecosystem and things of that nature, I'm looking at it as, this sounds great, but then the very last 1 or 2, 3 sentences, oh yeah, we're going to put games on PC as well. What? What? You literally just sat here talking to me about how great the ecosystem is and how you want to keep building this up, but then you're going outside of the ecosystem to get money, to get more money, or be.
And see, here's the other side of it too, and then we'll move on, chat. Here's the other side of it too, and I've been saying this for years. People always use the argument of, oh, well, PlayStation putting games on other platforms is better for the PlayStation gamer because that means more money coming in and you reap the benefits of that because that allows more games to be made. Bullshit. That's BS, right? Because the other side of putting games on PC, and listen, I'll have no quarrels with the PC crowd, right? Like I may crack my jokes here and there, but oftentimes the PC crowd, the real PC crowd, they're not really entertaining these conversations anyway, because it doesn't apply to them, right? Oftentimes the PC crowd that you typically see entertaining these conversations or parties conversations or speaking about this stuff and its importance on PC are really console refugees. What do I mean? And I'm the one that coined this term, by the way. So if you see anybody else using console refugee or anything like that, they got it from me. Nobody else was saying that in this community before me. Anyway, A console refugee is somebody who has gone from a console to PC in search of greener pastures. What does that mean? That means that although they have made that transition to PC, at heart they are still a console gamer and they want those experiences that are exclusive to console, but they want them where they currently are, which is PC, a console refugee. On top of that, they still find themselves in console conversations and console spaces because again, you can take the console from the gamer, but you can't take it from they like in their heart of heart, they will always be a console gamer. Like always. That's where their bread and butter is. That's where they feel comfortable. That's where they've built their whatever. And to some, that may be a bit of I ain't even gonna go down that path. I'm gonna leave it at that. Yo, Yamach, what up, man? He said, "Hi, Persona, welcome back. We miss you." Yeah, I appreciate it, man. I really do. Yo, Killer Cam for show in the building. What the fuck? I never got a notification you alive. Shake my head. I'm late as fuck. Yo, Killer Cam, it's all good, bro. I appreciate you pulling up, man. But yeah. So that was the conversation. I wanted to bring that up just to kind of highlight that, myself and Bari, we've been talking about that for years. You feel me? Like our stance on PlayStation, our stance on exclusives, our stance on the importance of it has never changed since the beginning of WUPS. You feel me? Like this WUPS episode is 5 years old. You feel me? Like this episode is a 5-year-old episode. You feel me? So like this is go back 5 years when we were first talking about this to now. The stance has never changed and it never will change. I believe in exclusives, and again, I want to explicitly say this. I believe in exclusives across the board. So that means PlayStation, Nintendo, and Xbox. I believe exclusives are important and beneficial to the health of these console brands, but also to the competitive nature of these brands as well. I own a Switch and a Switch 2 because I love Mario, I love Zelda, I love Kirby. You understand? I love Metroid. These games are synonymous. I love Pokemon. These games are synonymous with a Nintendo, and I have to own a Nintendo platform to play these games. I understand that as a gamer. I understand that as a consumer, and I understand that from a competitive nature, this is how it works. I understand that. PlayStation, if I want to play God of War, Horizon, Soros, Wolverine, whatever else game is coming out that's exclusive to PlayStation that might excite me. Intergalactic, The Heretic Prophet, right? One of my most anticipated games coming from Naughty Dog. Like, if I want to play these games, I have to have a PlayStation to do so. I understand that. I respect that. I appreciate that because it breeds competition within the industry. From an Xbox perspective, again, if PlayStation, if Xbox were to pull their games and make them all exclusive to their ecosystem again, I would need to own an Xbox if I want to play Gears E-Day, if I want to play Fable, if I want to play whatever game they have coming down the pipeline that excites me, a new Halo or something like that. I have to buy an Xbox, and I'm fine with that if that's the case, because that's competition. So yeah, that's that. All right, guys. Final topic, and then we're gonna get up out of here. I do want to talk about this real quick because it's an exciting time. State of play, baby. State of play. Very, 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 very excited for this, man. First of all, shout out. First of all, let me talk. Let me show y'all something. I don't know like why this tweet. Chat. I gotta talk to y'all for a second, man. I gotta talk to y'all because I don't know why this tweet blew up the way it did. Like I'm still to this day trying to understand why my tweet blew up. Like I don't know why this tweet blew up like this. This joint got 4,000 and something likes, retweets, 465 people bookmarked this. Why was this bookmarked so many times? Like I don't understand. Like I'm not even saying nothing crazy here, right? I think here's my theory, right? So one thing about social media, people love to correct you. Like, that's one thing I've learned about like being on social media all these years. If somebody has a chance to correct you, they're gonna do it. Like, and it'll be done multiple times. Even if they see that you've already been corrected, they also want to be a part of the correction of like, yeah, no, you're wrong. This is what it is. People for some reason love doing that shit. Anyway, so I did not know, or maybe I did and just like forgot. I don't know, but apparently PlayStation, or really Sony, owns the Alamo theaters. Which I'm like, okay, fine, like that's cool. Like I didn't know that, or like I said, I didn't know that. So I was just people were like all up and down in my comments, like, yeah, PlayStation owns Alamo, that's why they're doing this. PlayStation owns this, that's why they're doing this. PlayStation owns this, that's what. And I'm just sitting there like, is this why like y'all like? Is this why it's got so much like likes and like what's going? Anyway, I also think a lot of people, like with stuff like when you see certain things happen like this, like regardless if PlayStation owns the theater or not, it's the fact that this is actually happening. Like the fact that they're even going out their way to reserve time slots in theaters for people to watch the state of play in the theaters is a big thing. Like that's huge, right? That also signals that, at least from my perspective, you don't really go renting out theaters to show, a new Bubsy game or some shit like that. You get what I'm saying? Like you renting out theaters because you really about to drop some heat. Like you really about to drop. Like that's how I interpret this. I still put the mic there because obviously, it is what it could be. It might be one for the history, but it might be. But me personally, I am extremely excited about this state of play. I am extremely optimistic about this state of play. My expectations are through the roof, and I cannot wait to watch this state of play and see what they show at this state of play. Like I'm immensely excited, guys. Like I'm definitely gonna be doing live reactions. Hopefully you guys come through on the 2nd and we could watch that together and vibe out like we did back in the olden days. I'm absolutely live reacting to that, so don't miss that. But I'm excited. I like, seeing everything that's going to this over an hour. You feel me? They talking about over an hour of content, and they got it out the way. Like, y'all definitely about to see that Wolverine over an hour. I'm thinking an hour and an hour and a half maybe. So like by like around the 6:30 mark, or maybe like 6:15, we'll be seeing them roll credits on this state of play. But this state of play is absolutely gonna be one for the history books. I'm going into it like excited, and if I'm wrong, I'm wrong, right? Like if it isn't that great, I'll obviously be honest about that if I do find it not to be great. But I can tell you off rip, the fact that Wolverine is going to be there, it's already sitting at a 8 out of 10 for me personally. Just off of Wolverine, I'm gonna be honest, like I'm a massive Wolverine fan, so I cannot wait to see get a deep dive look at Wolverine. We already got the release date. I just need you to release that collector's edition, special edition plates for the Pro PlayStation. I need those PlayStation Pro special edition plates. You understand? And that collector's edition. Now, collector's editions for Wolverine, I have 2 ideas. Barry actually said one of them yesterday, and this was actually one that I actually think they might do. This is one I really would want anyway. Wolverine slicing into a Sentinel, like a big Sentinel statue with Wolverine. Like the Sentinel is like holding Wolverine, and Wolverine is like trying to slash his head off. I actually think that would be an incredible statue. And I'd buy that collector's edition in a heartbeat, honestly. But the collector's edition also, please, PlayStation, please, for the love of God, please include a steelbook in this goddamn collector's edition. Please, if you do a collector's edition for Wolverine, PlayStation, I know you watching. Please, for the love of God, do a steelbook. Even if it is just a digital code in the damn steelbook box, please do a steelbook for this collector's edition. Please, PlayStation, do not drop the ball there. Please, because it's gonna piss me off as I swipe to buy the goddamn collector's edition because it don't got no goddamn steelbook. Please have a steelbook. Obviously, I do think pre-orders will also go up live. That once they show this gameplay, I think pre-orders will be up as well. That's another thing. But let's get into predictions, guys. Predictions. And you guys can participate in the chat as well with some of your predictions of what you think is at the state of play. But I'm about to get into my predictions, guys, because this is going to be a great time. So obviously, we know Wolverine's going to be there. I think, obviously, we know the release date already. I think we're going to get a nice deep dive into the gameplay of Wolverine. I think we're also going to get a reveal of I think the collector's edition is also going to be shown. Probably not at the state of play, but you know how PlayStation does when they show something, they release like the article right after. They'll have an article, and PlayStation's motto is they'll have the article showing the collector's edition, special edition, all that stuff, but then they'll also have the pre-order time. So it's not going to be like, oh, up right now for you to pre-order. It'll probably be the week after or or 2 weeks after. More than likely the week of Summer Game Fest, honestly. The week after, they'll have the pre-orders up for you to pre-order the game either on the PlayStation Store or pre-order the collector's edition on PlayStation Direct, right? Second thing, I want to get into some hardware real quick. Hardware predictions. 2 things. 1, the PlayStation Fight Stick. I do think that we will get another look at the PlayStation. So 2 things, right? I think we're going to get a Marvel ToeCon trailer showing Doom's team, but then I also think we're going to get the Fight Stick reveal as well. And the price, I think we know the price already, if I'm not mistaken. Correct me in the chat. But we're also going to have that pre-order go up as well. That's most likely going to release a month or so before ToeCon releases, or a couple weeks before. And then I also think they'll actually reveal an all-black version of the Fight Stick. Right now, we've got the black and white PlayStation synonymous version. I actually think they'll have a all-black version of this Fight Stick also available for you to buy and pre-order as well. Staying in the hardware realm, real quick. Listen, chat. I need y'all to stick with me on this. I think we're going to get something PlayStation 6 teased. Now, listen. I'm not saying they're going to tease, show the thing. No. But I think Mark Cerny will do a brief talk about PSSR 2 and how much it has been an impact. Hold on, chat. Stick with me. Just stick with me. I'm leading y'all down the path, not a well, path. Mark Cerny is going to come out and briefly just talk about PSSR 2 and how much it's making games look much better now with the PSSR 2.0. But then I also think he will confirm and explicitly say the next version of our PSSR that we're working in tandem with, whatever, you'll see later on in our next iteration of the PlayStation consoles with the PlayStation 6 or something like that. Like, I mean a tease in terms of confirming that a PlayStation 6 is actually happening as opposed to it being whatever, right? Like, he'll explicitly say, I don't think we'll get a look at it or no prototype or nothing. No, but I think he will mention PSSR 2.0, how much better it is, and confirm other games that now will be utilizing PSSR 2.0, and then just mention, hey, we're always iterating and, look forward to this and blah, blah, blah for, PlayStation 6 or whatever. And then that's it. Nothing else. That's it. Not no, oh yeah, here's how it looks, prototype. Nah. Yeah, something next generation. Yeah, that's what I'm saying, Barry. I don't think it's going to be, PS6, here's that prototype. No. Nothing close to that. But I do think they will just confirm, yes, a PlayStation 6 is in development, active development right now. I do think they will say that, for sure. For sure, I think they will. I will. All right, here we go. I'm about to get to some crazy predictions. Chat, I know some of y'all probably going to clip this up if none of this shit come true, and that's fine. But I'm going to still predict. I think we're going to get a look at a new intergalactic heretic prophet trailer, for sure. I think we're getting a new trailer for that. I also think we're going to get an Uncharted either remake or a new Uncharted game tease. Not being made by Naughty Dog, being made by somebody else, but it's being teased here. I know. Naughty Dog. Listen, that's what I think we're getting. I think that's happening, for sure. I think we're going to see fair games. We're going to get a trailer and a release date. I don't know how to feel about this game, being honest. I actually think I'm good. Right now I think I'm good on fair games, honestly. Sticking in the realm of PlayStation. I say it all the time, and I'm gonna say it here. I think we'll get a Bloodborne tease, Bloodborne remake. I think they're gonna tease that. You know, I could be wrong there. I'll be ready. I'll be ready. Did you see the new trade? Yeah, I saw the new trademark for Fair Games. It's called what, Break In or something like that. I think so I think they prepping that game to kind of ride off into the sunset now. So you know, we'll see what Fair Games. Um I think I don't know which game, but I will say this. I think we are going to get a tease of an old school PlayStation IP being remade for current gen consoles outside of God of War. Obviously, we know about the God of War trilogy remake that's happening. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about another PlayStation old school IP that is being remade. Now, my guess, if I was a betting man, it would be one of these three games. It would either be Resistance, Infamous, or Sly Cooper. No, I take that back. Jack and Dexter. Yeah. My bet's on Resistance though, because Insomniac has been teasing Resistance for a long time. They've been posting Resistance, and I had to tell them one time, like, yo, why y'all keep teasing? You know the community wants a Resistance. Why y'all keep teasing this shit? Like, yo, give me the game, yo. I want Resistance. So I think it's gonna be one of those three. More than likely, it's probably gonna be Infamous or Resistance. And really, if it's Infamous, me personally, I would want a Resistance or an Infamous. More Infamous than Resistance a little bit. Actually, no, more Resistance than Infamous. They a little bit the same. I need Infamous back, yo. I need that. I need that, yo. I need that. I need that, yo. Keeping it in the realm of PlayStation, I think they are going to. No, this is like a Hail Mary, but I think we're going to see Cory Barlog's new game potentially. Hopefully, we'll see something else teased from Sony Santa Monica, I believe. I also think we're gonna get a new look at Horizon Hunters Gathering. I think we're gonna get that and probably get a release date for that because I know the beta is going on right now. So they'll probably give us a new look at that, a new trailer for that as well. Yeah, Corey game, we definitely need to see that. We definitely need to see that for sure. Um, which side did you land on? Hey, yo, look. Um, all right, let me get to some of the third party stuff. Imagine they don't show the spin-off game Gal and they Gal trilogy remake old school or new school Gal. Yo, that's a yo. I was listening when I was listening to your show yesterday, Barry. I was actually trying to think like, yo, I don't think they're gonna do no old school. I actually am. I'm with you, like where I think it's actually gonna be a more new school take on the gameplay as well. Because like when you look at like when you play Valhalla, you actually see like yo what they could potentially be doing when you play Valhalla and you make it to like the Olympic side of stuff and you see what's going on with some of those Olympic enemies and everything that's going on. Yo, real talk, I definitely think it's gonna be in the new school God of War game gameplay, especially after playing Valhalla. Like I could definitely see them doing that new style gameplay for sure. For sure. Here's the other thing. I think Insomniac is going to tease another project that they're working on as well. So we know Wolverine. I think they're going to show. I think Insomniac is going to tease another project they might be working on, whatever that is. Possibly Venom. Yes, Kratos. Possibly. It could be Venom. It could be something else. I just think Insomniac might tease something else that they're working on. Like, I don't think Insomniac is not just going to show Wolverine. I think they're going to show something else too. I think they're going to tease to another project. It's either going to be something. I could see X-Men. I could see possibly Venom, or something else entirely new. It might be a new Ratchet or something, but they are absolutely teasing something. Insomniac is definitely going to tease a new project. A new project. They're going to tease it for sure. For sure. Nah, Spider-Man 3 too soon. I don't think they will do Spider-Man 3. I think it's gonna be something else, like just something way out of left field, like something very different. Not Spider-Man 3. All right, let's get to third party. Tides of Annihilation. We passed due for that. I need to see that. So I think we're gonna see that, right? Yo, this is like a Hail Mary. And I'm gonna say it here. I'm gonna say it with my chest. I think potentially GTA 6 trailer tease will be here. I think trailer 3 will be released in the summer, but I think the tease will be here at summer at State of Play, and I think it will also confirm that PlayStation is doing the marketing deal with has marketing rights with GTA 6. I think they'll flex that. I think it's what they'll do. They'll flex that. Yeah, we're doing the marketing for GTA 6. See more at the exclusive Rockstar event on XYZ Day or some shit like that. I don't know. I'm trying to think what else third party for PlayStation, like third party wise, what'll be there. I think Call of Duty. Nah, Call of Duty is gonna be at Call of Duty will be at Xbox. So no, not Call of Duty. I don't like third party wise. Marvel Tokon. I think we're gonna get a new trailer there as well. I also think they're actually going to announce the last beta, and I think the beta is going to be late June. They'll announce there's going to be another beta, final beta before the game comes out in August. It's either going to be late June or first week of July. I think we're going to get the final beta with some new characters for Marvel Tokon for sure. They're definitely doing another beta. I think Barry gonna love this one. I think, and because Barry said this yesterday, and I actually think this is very true. I think we're going to get a Final Fantasy Remake Part 3 trailer here. I actually think it's going to be here because Hamaguchi has already said he's been playing the game end to end like over 40 times. He said the game is coming along real smooth and it's close to release. And like they feel confident in all this other stuff. I think we're going to get the first trailer now. I think we're going to get Final Fantasy 7 Remake Part 3 trailer here. Here's the other thing. I think we're going to get a Square Enix remake announcement here for another title. It can be now the 3 titles that I'm thinking is either Final Fantasy 9, Chrono Trigger, or another Dragon Quest, another either DQ8, because DQ8 is synonymous with PlayStation, with PS2. That's a big game. So either DQ8, which I think it will be, or we might get 12 we're going to see later this week, but they might have like some type of another trailer or something like that. So I think the remake, I think it's going to be either DQ8, Chrono Trigger, or Final Fantasy 9. I also think we might see. I know this is all like some Hail Mary shit, chat. I know I'm off the wall with my predictions, but I don't care. Kingdom Hearts 4. I can't wait for Kingdom Hearts 4. We might get some Kingdom Hearts 4 announcement here. Nice little tease. It's been long enough. Let's get that on the ball. You understand? Persona, don't sleep on Parasite Eve. Possibly. I don't know though. I don't think it'll be Parasite Eve. I don't know. I feel more people want like a Chrono Cross or something like that over. Well, no, Parasite Eve is big too. I don't know. I'd be shocked if it was Parasite Eve, but I wouldn't be against that either though. Yeah, Final Fantasy VII Remake Part 3 is absolutely. I think we're gonna get a new trailer there for sure, for sure. Capcom wise, I think we might get a new we might get a confirmation of like some type of, well, I didn't beat Pragmata yet, so I don't know like how the story ended to say like, oh yeah, we could possibly get some DLC or not. So let me not say that. But I don't know if they already showed the Leon DLC. I know that had got leaked. Oh yeah, Animusha. They'll probably show another Animusha trailer, which honestly they, we've seen enough of that. Just go on and release that. But yeah, Animusha. We might get a tease of a new project from Capcom. Maybe. I don't know what else. Like I'm trying to like think, like I'm still like I'm not out the loop anymore, but I'm still trying to think like what other games. Persona, do you have the Spider-Man 2, and where do you play it, on PC or PS5? Um the Spider-Man 2. I play Spider-Man on I have it on both actually. Devil May Cry. Oh yeah, who was talking about that? I think that was Barry saying that we might get a DMC. I wouldn't be surprised on new DMC tease. I could see that. I could see that. What else, yo? I'm like drawing a blank. Yo, real talk? No, because 007 comes out this week. Never mind. I was gonna say 007, but never mind. No. 007 comes out this week. Yeah, I that's all I got. Like in terms of predictions, I don't know what else. Like stuff is starting to slip my mind. I don't know what else we could get, but I think those are some of like the big ones that I would hope we see. Someone leaker says that Capcom making Devil May Cry remake, a new Infamous. Yeah, Damien, listen, I need that. I need an Infamous. I need a new Infamous or a new Resistance expeditiously. I need that. I need that. Your boy need that. Control. Oh yeah, Control. I think we're gonna get the release date for Control. Yeah, that's definitely a safe bet. Control and what you call it? Yeah, Control and what's the name for sure? A release date for that. Let me see. PlayStation. See what else PlayStation got going on. Oh yeah, Kana. I think Kana, we'll get a new trailer for Kana and get a release date for that for sure. We definitely gonna get a new trailer for that, and hopefully get a release date. They'll probably confirm July or some of the summer PS Plus games and PS Plus classics, and I think some of those might be like big reveals as well with the PS Plus classics titles as well. So yeah, those are like some of the big reveals, honestly. I'm trying to find PlayStation State of Play from February, where they had they had a lot of stuff there as well. Let me see. Loop, Pragmata. Yo, that February PS Plus PlayStation State of Play was really good too. Dead or Alive, Control, Crimson Moon. What's this? Oh, is this that that's that what you call it, that co-op game? Oh, Beast of Incarnation. Might get another trailer for that. Honestly, we don't need no trailer for that. They can kind of keep that rolling. Oh, yo, we might get a shadow drop. That's the other thing, a shadow drop. We might get a shadow drop. For real. Yo, I want to look at my Yo, I gotta go back. Hold on, let me go back to my my channel real quick. I want to show that reaction of when I saw God of War. That joke was crazy. Can I have yeah, I got you, Lady Gamer. I got you. Let me see. PlayStation State of Play. Oh, here we go. Here we go right here. Maybe Lords of the Fallen 2. Yeah, Summer Game Fest gotta have some stuff too. So like that's definitely something like, be mindful of as well. But then again, they might show things like twice. Look at this. Look at this.
Oh, well, it is so 10 out of 10. This is one of the best showings from
マーベル闘魂ファイティングソウルズ最新のトレーラーお楽しみいただけましたでしょうか。本当にお待たせ。
Hold on. What's this? Oh, hold on. I gotta move myself. Hold on. Let me move myself. Let me move myself to like right here. Hey yo. Oh my god! Yo, they really doing God of War? Yo, hold on. Oh, let me stay calm. Let me stay calm. Hold on. Yo, what? What? God of War? Hey, yo. Yo, 10 out of 10 state of play. 10. Yo, I need PlayStation to like bring something like this with this state of play. I need you to have me at this excitement level with this state of play, man. Out of 10 state of play. 2. It's a collection? Is it a collection? Is it a collection?
Your son.
Wait. God of War trilogy. Yo. I need to think. Show me something. Remake? What? Remake? Yo, Persona, relax. Hey, yo, Persona, I need you to calm down, sir.
Hey.
And they bringing back my boy TC Carson?
It is OG.
Oh, yes.
That's
Oh,
right.
yes.
God of War.
Yo, this not even the crazy part. The funny part is when they shadow drop that Sons of Sparta, yo.
I'm back, baby.
Oh, yes.
And
Oh,
I'm
yes.
going to bring you some exciting news about the series today.
Oh, yeah.
Starting with that teaser that you just saw, yeah? Now, look, we are happy and excited to finally confirm that, the Greek trilogy remake is now in development. Yeah,
Fire.
man. I know. Sit down.
Fire.
Sit down. Now look, this project is still in the early stages, so it'll be a minute before we get back to share another update, right? But I'm telling you, next time we come back, we coming with something big, baby. Yeah. And in addition, since we're approaching the last few months of God of War's 20th anniversary year, we couldn't let it close without one last surprise. Now, this announcement.
Oh, my God, yo. Hey, yo, listen. Hey, yo, listen. Chat. Y'all know me. Chat. God of War is one of my favorite franchises of all time. Chat, listen.
You've never heard it before. I'm telling you. That's all you get. So, thank you for 2 strong decades of support. And we can't wait for you to see what we've got cooking to keep the next 20 years surprising, fresh, and fun as hell to play. Yeah, all right, you can watch it now. Go. Why are you still here? Go.
Yo, TC Carson, my guy. Fire. Yo, it's a good. Yo, Sons of Sparta was such a good game too. Real talk. Yo, I'm happy, man. I'm happy as hell right now. Yo, this game was fire, yo. Sons of Sparta was so good.
I was a father. Before, I was a god. I was a Spartan.
Hey, yo, listen. Yo.
What?
Yo, this game was so good, yo. I love Sons of Sparta. I love this game.
Our duty is to Sparta.
I'm just a day one. I don't give a fuck what you talking about. Hey, yo, listen. Give me this right now.
Never on our backs. Never left behind. Always.
And this game is canon. Yo. Hey, yo, listen. Give me this right now.
Of tragedy.
Yo, that boss was tough. That green boss, that boss was tough as hell. That was definitely one of the toughest bosses in this game. This boss right here was tough too. I forgot his name. Yo. This is a day one. This boss was a gimmick boss. Day one. I don't give a fuck what you call God of War Sons of Sparta. Hey, yo, listen, this is a day one. I don't care what you talking about. Available 2026. This is a day one.
This is only the beginning.
Available today? Hey yo, let me go buy this right now. What? 10 out of 10. You can't tell me nothing. Hey, yo, I don't listen, chat. I don't care what nobody is talking about on this internet, yo. Can't nobody tell you a goddamn thing about nothing. 10 out of 10. Oh, well, they did so. 10 out of 10. This is one of the best showings from PlayStation that we've gotten in a long time. 10 out of 10. 10 out of 10. This is all me. Most of the shit here I'm picking up. 10 out of 10. This is 10 out of 10 for me. This is how you do PlayStation. This is how you come correct. Pause. This is how you.
Hey, yo, listen. You can't never take the New York out of me. Regardless of where I go, I'm always going to be New York. You heard? Yo, I don't care how excited I am. That pause going to come. Pause.
You come correct. 10 out of 10. PlayStation, keep it up. 10 out of 10. You hear what I say? 10 out of 10. Talk to me nice. 10 out of 10. Talk to me nice. Hey, yo,
what? Oh, yo, who is that persona over there? Who is that? Yo, that dude right there. I don't know about that dude. That dude a little too hype for me, yo. Like, yo, calm down, persona. What you talking about? Relax.
Listen, man. I don't want to hear. Listen. Never mind that. All that bullshit on Twitter, man. Listen, guys, chat. I ain't been around a long time, so you know it is what it is. Listen, never mind all that bullshit that folks is talking about on this chat, man. Let me explain on the internet, man. Let me tell you something. Let me explain something, y'all, man. 10 out of 10. I don't care what nobody. I don't care what Crimson Desert, Soros, God of War remake. Not even a remake of the first game. Remake trilogy. God of War, Sons of Sparta, available today. Shadow drop.
Yo. Hey, yo. Yo, wait, play that back. Play that back, yo. Yo, wait. Yo, I did that. Yo, that man said shadow drop. Yo. Yo, my stomach. Yo, my stomach hurt. My stomach hurt. Wait, yo, I did that.
Make trilogy. God of War, Sons of Sparta, available today. Shadow drop. Kena,
yo,
Scars of Cosmora.
Yo. Listen, I did that, yo. Nice, hold up, yo.
Listen, man. I don't want to hear it, man. I don't want to hear it.
Yo, persona, chill, bro.
If you're not excited for nothing here, I respectfully, you not like well, one, I don't really care about most people's opinions anyway. Like, I'm gonna be honest with you, very few people's opinions really matter to me personally. But the point I'm making is, if nothing here excites you, it's you, man. Like, real talk, it's you. It's you. Something's wrong with you, man. You.
Good point.
Like, you can't be a Debbie Downer in this community all the time, man. It's something wrong with you. Personally. 10 out of 10, man. There's no debate. Oh, well, no. 10 out of 10. Gameplay, release dates, surprises. They did it all in this showcase. In this state of, this wasn't even no showcase. This was a state of play. This felt like a showcase, and this is really a state of play. And they came swinging. Boom. Out the gate, we talking.
Yo, persona, you too animated. Yo, wait. I do not remember. Yo, hold on. I do not remember being this hype and doing all this. Hold up, yo. Yo, did I just, nah, yo, persona, you did not just do that, yo. Did y'all see what persona just did, yo? Hold up, yo. He said, boo. Yo, what the fuck? Yo, chill. Hold up, yo. Hold up. Wait a second.
Surprises. They did it all in this showcase. In this state of, this wasn't even no showcase. This was a state of play. This felt like a showcase, and this is really a state of play. And they came swinging. Boom. Out the gate, we talking Mike Tyson. We talking super.
Yo, listen, nah, I'm done. I can't watch this, yo. This persona, I don't know where that came from. I don't even know why I did that, yo. Like that, I was just so excited and so hyped. I was just excited as a gamer seeing all those great games. I do not remember doing, yo, chat. I do not remember doing that shit, yo. I'm just like, yo, what the fuck? What?
Punch out. They came out swinging. Jesus Christ, man. Listen, man. Ghost of Legends multiplayer. Which release date? Marvel Tokon. New characters reveals with release dates. Listen, I respectfully, I'm good. Listen, chat, I'm telling y'all, man. Listen, I ain't been around a long time. I get it. But chat, I'm letting y'all know right now, man. Don't go on this Twitter shit arguing. Cause there's nothing that obviously you're gonna have to detract this. Oh, well, yeah, this is probably PC. Who cares? Great games are coming, man. Great, awesome, and beautiful, great games are on the horizon.
Oh man, all right, that's enough of that. Yeah, so anyway, yo, I was hyped this show. Yo, chat, I do not remember doing that. Like, yo, I didn't punch myself like that. That's crazy. Anyway, yeah, yo, listen, this is, we at the end of the show, chat. Great show. I told y'all it was gonna be quite a long show, so I hope you guys did enjoy it. If you did, put a 1 in the chat if you enjoyed the show. Put a 2 if you didn't. That's okay. It's cool too. Make sure you guys hit the like button. Round of applause for the folks in the chat. So what's coming up for me? I am going to be doing a live reaction to the PlayStation State of Play. That's definitely happening for sure. June 2nd, I'll be live, and we'll do a live reaction to that and talk about that. I am also going to be, shout out to Bari, because let me actually show this too, because Bari actually, how do I guess I can. I don't know when everything is releasing. I had to look that up. I had to set up all my other live reactions, but essentially shout out to Bari for putting this up there actually, because this is definitely helpful for me. But so June 1st is Summer Game Fest Showcase. That's an indie show. I'm not going to do a live reaction to that. I will be doing a live reaction, obviously, to PlayStation State of Play. So June 2nd, Summer Game Fest. I'll probably do a live reaction to that. We'll see, because Keely be doing the bait and switch with certain shit sometimes. But matter of fact, I'll do it. I'll do a live reaction to that. So Summer Game Fest, I'll do a live reaction to that. So we'll be live for that. Xbox Showcase, that's happening. When is that happening? Sunday. Yes, Sunday, June 7th, 10 a.m. So that's what at 1 p.m. We'll definitely be live for the for the Xbox Showcase for sure, and we'll definitely be live for the Gears of War E-Day Direct as well. Very, very excited for Gears of War E-Day. So Xbox Showcase, we'll be doing live reactions to that on June 7th. That's Sunday. I'll set up the rest of the live reactions on the channel throughout the week. I want to create the thumbnails and everything, but really I'm only going to be doing live reactions to these 3 showcases. So PlayStation State of Play, Summer Game Fest, and Xbox Showcase. So definitely be on the lookout for that. Hopefully the community can rock out with me, and we could vibe out. But with that being said, chat, listen, I appreciate you guys spending a little bit of your Sunday with me. I hope you guys enjoyed yourselves. If you did, definitely hit the like button. Subscribe to your boy. Definitely gonna be trying to do a little bit more content here and there. Some shows and give my thoughts on certain things, man, and whatnot. And I just appreciate everybody rocking out with me all these years and all this time. And I hope at the end of the day, we all love gaming. We all gamers at the end of the day. So what's important is to just enjoy playing the games and enjoy doing what y'all do. You feel me? I'm still around, guys, even though I'm I'm doing what I'm doing in real life and everything. I'm still around. I'm still gonna give you guys life updates here and there and all that good stuff. And we definitely gonna be vibing out. You'll see me again. You'll see me active a little bit more on YouTube now. Again, you'll see me active a little bit more on social media. Not at the same capacity as what I was doing back in the day, only because you know, my priorities are obviously different. And this was always just a hobby to me anyway. But you'll definitely see me more active and speaking on certain things and, you know, giving my thoughts here and there and whatnot. You feel me? But yo, listen, I appreciate y'all, man. Round of applause for the people in the chat. Listen, I appreciate y'all. Hope you guys enjoy the rest of your afternoon, this Sunday afternoon. Hopefully, you know, everybody enjoys the Memorial Day weekend as well. You know, happy Memorial Day. You know, thank you to, you know, everybody out there that's doing what they do. You know, have fun, be safe. And I'll see you guys. The next show, obviously, is going to be my live reaction to PlayStation State of Play. So that's when you'll see me. But I'll be posting on Twitter from time to time and whatnot. So you'll see that. But listen, I appreciate you guys. Please be safe. And it's been your boy Persona. And I'm out, guys. Peace.